dignitaries. Now I'd like to invite our esteemed guest of honor to share her valuable insights.
Check. ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಲೇಟ್ ಆಯಿತಾ? ಓಕೆ, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರನೇ ಬೆಟರಾ? ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Being in the field of training, I like to hear from the other side also. Okay, at the outset, and thanks to Dr. Subbarao sir for inviting me here to be a part of the Studay International Conference. It's a long time we were continuously connected. We were together in valuation also. From there we are connected when I started my career as a lecturer. So it's really nice to be here and seeing people from different states also. How many are from different states apart from Karnataka? Okay, all good for paper presentations. Yes, how do you feel Bangalore? You are discussing among yourself. Okay, I'll straight away go. Okay, today we are discussing on the topic that is leveraging technology and analysis for sustainable business growth. Innovations in management, AI and CSR. AI is not my part of the cup, so I'll be discussing on two things, that is management and CSR. These are my cup of tea. First and foremost, like we are here for the new innovations. We know that management is dynamic and it needs to be innovated now and then. Otherwise, it will be a problem for us to have or to get along with the changing dynamics of the society as well as the organization. So what are the new innovations we can have? That is with regard to the management and with regard to CSR. First one is AI is playing a very important role in the management innovations. All of us know that that is being a part of it. AI, that is artificial intelligence. Yes or no? You want interactive session or just one way? Interactive. Now and then we will have. I only have 10 minutes. So as much as possible, I would like to make it more interactive. So over here, when we speak about new innovations, why it is required or why the new innovations in management or for any other purpose it is required? Because it keeps changing. The dynamics are changing, and in case we become obsolete, it is very difficult for us to move along or go with the current generation or go with the current waves. That is the reason we are more inclined towards, or we are more to invest on the new dynamics or the innovations in management. There are a couple of points which I would like to just share with you, which would support and improve on the innovations of management and CSR. First and foremost, like I would like to say that AI and machine learning for data analysis and decision making fosters the development of management. For that, there are certain key aspects which we will be speaking about one after the other. The first one will be the data-driven decision making. As we know, like now it is more important for us to have the data-driven. Data-driven is at the tip of your finger, you are able to get it. I also welcome our chief guest, Mr. Shiv Kumar, for joining us.
we are very happy to have our esteemed chief guest of the day, Mr. Shivkumar, sir, present here. I heartily welcome you, sir. And I request our beloved director, Brother Peter, to welcome our chief guest of the day with a sapling. And we have Miss Ankita Pati Rath, who accompanied our chief guest today. I welcome you, ma'am. Over to our esteemed guest of honor of the day to continue.
So we were speaking about the data-driven decision making. The data-driven means how are we going to get the data? Earlier, it was difficult for us to have the regular data. So now at our fingertips, everything is available. Just within fraction of seconds or within fraction of minutes, we will be able to get the data which is required. That will be supporting the required development of our organization. May it be in the management structure or with regard to the customer directions. So second one would be the employee-centric approach, which is very much required. What is this employee-centric approach? Most of the time, we witness that the employees are not being taken well care of based on the stress they have and the activities they are working on or the projects they are working on. Now we see that there are flexible hours. Most of us know that there are flexible hours with regard to the software people. Even then they are under stress because it is not more of employee-centric in most of the organizations. Though some follow the rules and regulations of having a stress-free environment with the employees, most of the people are not. Especially, I think educations are far better than any other organizations because though it is little hectic sometimes, other times there is relaxation. And also, I personally feel that education or teaching is a very noble profession. So it is more of a passion than it will be a working or the stress which you will be having. So when it comes to employee-centric, what is it we are supposed to do in managing the stress of the employees or in order to value the employees of the organization? First one is prioritizing their work as well as family equally, giving them the opportunity to prioritize on what it is. And secondly is the way they can reveal their ideas. If we are able to give that particular opportunity, it becomes more of employee-centric. At last, the employee who is in connection with the organization's goals and responsibilities or goals and objectives, he would be on the verge of committing in such a way that the organization will be developed or organization will be supported through his activities. Third one is the agile methodologies, which we will be speaking about. Over here, the iterative and flexible project management practices, which will be taken care of. That will be a part of the employee and the organization as well, which will be supporting the employee as well as the organization. Here we need to balance the organization as well as the employee. This is very important. Next one is the open innovation. What do we understand by open innovations? Innovations at all levels, innovations to all the levels of the staff working in an organization. Sometimes, I would like to quote one small anecdote on this. There was once a car manufacturer who was into different types of cars. So once it so happened that they went with a larger car manufacturing, means a bigger one than the usual. That was a new innovation which was brought. Once everything was ready in the uh, go down or in the underground. They wanted to bring the car outside the factory or outside the underground. What happened is they were trying in all levels, but the shed was quite low. The height of the shed was quite low, and they were not able to bring it out from the godown. So all the peoples were called, different levels of management were called to discuss what else can be done, what are the different options to cut down on the height of the vehicle. So many people gave different strategies, and all of them failed with what to do, because nothing could have been changed at that particular time, because it was already in the final stage, or it was in the way of releasing that particular project. So at last, when everyone was there, then the security of the factory, he comes. Sir, can I give one small suggestion? Everyone will look at him in astonishment. And at last they will tell, okay, chalo, we will give you also an option. What is it? He'll tell, why don't you reduce the blow of the tire little bit, and it will be able to move it. So that was a fantabulous idea, right? So it was very easy for them to do that, and all others were astonished. Most of the times it so happens that we will not be in a position to look at things in a smaller way. We will be used to think at a different way. When it is 1 or 2 inches difference, or half an inch or difference is there, it was easy for him to bring the pressure or the air in the tire little less and then push it. That was which cannot be solved by all the management level. It was solved by the security. So no person can be underestimated. This is what we learn. So in the same way, when it comes to management, when we speak about the employee-centric and the different levels of agile competition which is there in the corporate world, the equal options or equal open innovations management should be given for each of the person, in order to see that the work of the organization is more effective. That is where we say that open innovations are allowed, or the inputs from all the different types of levels or the different levels of organizations will be allowed. So we never have to underestimate or neglect any person in that particular way. So next one is the digital transformation. When we speak about management, now we are in the digital world, going to in the digital way. So digital transformation plays a vital role. Like, see, we have so many cloud computing and automation tools. So how we need to make use of that to make it better. I also heard in one of the management conclave that AI is replacing the human. But let us have in our mind, nothing can be replaceable with human beings, because that AI at last will be operated by human beings only. Maybe the number of people will be reduced. How many of you are aware of ChatGPT? Good, very good number. So, can you have you ever tried that ChatGPT in making any slides or any notes? How effective is it? Not supposed to. How effective do you feel? Very effective. But do you know something? Once you use it for maybe 10, 12 times, it is a repetitive things if for the same question. So if most of the people are doing the same thing, until and unless you give a question in a different way, or different questions for the same particular record to come out, it will give the same type of, or normally it is the similar type of answers which you will be getting, one normal format. Maybe a slight difference will be there. Agree with me? So that is the disadvantage or drawback of digital usage, or the digital AI which we use. How we are supposed to transform? That is transform with more of human intelligence. Otherwise, without human intelligence, it will be difficult to have the ChatGPT or to work with any of the AI tools. Next one, where some examples I would like to have of the management practices. That is, we have internal idea management system. What is this internal idea? The reason why we people are here today on the international conference. That is the reason why people are having the internal management. From diversified field, we are trying to have people and to discuss on one topic or similar topics like that, and based on which you will be giving your suggestions, or you will be changing your practices. That is one thing you will be having. Then second one is the cross-functional teams. All of us aware of the cross-functional teams. In order to have a effective management in any organization for that matter, it is more important to have people of cross-functional, like cross-functional includes marketing, management, HR, or even the task force, all these people coming together in order to see that how in a holistic way or a holistic approach they can try to bring it out, or they try to bring the solutions for the required problems. Next one is the remote work and the flexible schedules. What is this remote work? Means working from home or working at your convenience and having once or twice, which we have already brought into practice. But sometimes people feel that working at home is not as good as working in offices. So in that case, how we can make it more friendly? Over there, we can have the virtual meetings with the cross-functional team. That will help us a lot. Apart from that, we have diversity and inclusive inventions and the continuous feedback. Whatever we do, at last the customers are our final judges. So if we are able to satisfy the customers, it will be a good profit for the organization, or it is a credit to the organization which we will be working. So as much as possible, we need to see that the customers who will be our stakeholders, they are to be happy, and they also have to be delighted. These are the things which in management practices we would like to have on. And secondly, with regard to CSR, CSR is something I would like to just quote in 2-3 lines. First one is, whenever we are doing CSR activity, it should be felt that whatever we do, it should be in a way that we are doing it for the society alone without expectation. That is one thing. Second thing is, when CSR activities are taken, most of the time we don't know whether the target people or whomever we are giving the services, whether they are in true need of that particular service. Say for example, we would see in most of the traffic signals. In traffic signals, we see like people who are very healthy, very capable, and who are capable of doing physical work, muscle work, they also come and beg in the traffic. Have you observed that? Yes? People are listening? Okay, have you people come across such people who just stand at the traffic for easy money? So whether our service, we want to do something for them, but are they the right people to be given? Okay, I would like to quote one thing before I end this with regard to CSR. Quoting a moment from the Mahabharata. Say Krishna, Arjuna, and Karna. All of us know that Karna is known as that Mahadani, or he is also called as the Danashura, means who is very good in giving away things, or who is a very good person in all ways. Danashura Karna means he is a person who is always into doing dana, dharma, like that. So once what happens, Arjuna and Krishna will be walking, just having a walk. Then Arjuna asks, see, I am also equivalent to Karna in all the ways. Then why is it that only Karna is taken as Mahadani or Danashura, only why he is taken? So Krishna tells, even I don't know, even I have to find out what is the reason. Then he'll tell, no, you know it, you are not telling me. You please tell me what is it I can do so that even I will be called as Danashura. So Krishna and Arjuna will be walking. Suddenly Krishna says, he will show 2 mountains, and they will tell, these 2 mountains I will turn it to gold. You do one thing, you, you give it to people. You give away to people and make yourself as Danashura Karna. So both of them stood. Then Arjuna feels very happy. He'll go to his asthana and he will tell the person to beat drums in all the places in his dynasty, to go and tell that whoever wants how much ever gold, they can come and take in this hill. All the people will start coming. They start taking the gold. They will be taking and going. Everyone, they will be feeling happy and they will be praising Arjuna to a greater extent. He is a Danashura. He is more than Karna. Like that, they'll start praising him. So even after 10 days, 15 days, 1 month, the mountain will not be reduced or it will not be empty. Then Arjuna will come and ask Krishna, why is it all people are taking but not even one part of the mountain is being reduced? So Karna will tell, Krishna will tell, even I am not sure. Then he'll tell, okay, let us try with Karna. They both will go. At that time, Karna also will be coming back. So Krishna will tell Karna, look Karna, I have these 2 mountains of gold. You please give it away to people in charity. So you give it away. How much ever they want, let them come and take it. And whoever wants, they can come and take it. He'll tell, okay. And by the time, after some time, Krishna and Arjuna will be coming back. While coming back, they will see again Karna coming back. He'll tell, what happened, Karna? Did you give that in charity? So he'll tell, yeah, I've already given. So Krishna and Arjuna both will be very astonished. They will ask, how is it whom you gave? Tell, no, there were 2 people who were coming. I gave one to each of them. Did you understand what it is? One mountain to each of them. Let them do whatever you want. So whenever, did you understand the moral? I will tell you, maybe or not. First one is when Arjuna was giving, he wanted people to praise him. He was expecting people to praise him for whatever he was giving. Whereas when Karna was given, he just wanted to release himself from the burden of that charity. He just gave to 2 people. He is not bothered what those 2 people will do with that mountain of gold. So one to each for 2 people he just gave. When we speak about service or the CSR, what we need to think is whatever we are giving, it is for the community and not expect anything in return. So most of the time, why I am specifically speaking about this, in most of the organization, CSR activities are going on. But in some of the places, they are not having that proper management in that. So management and CSR will go hand in hand only if we can formalize or we can take to action or take into consideration how this can be appreciated, applicable and appreciated. So with these words, I would like to end my talk over here. Thank you for your patient hearing. Have a wonderful 2-day international conference. Thanks to St. Francis institutions for having me here. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, dear ma'am. That was really such an engaging and captivating talk. Well, every event will be extraordinary when graced by the presence of someone as accomplished as our chief guest of the day. I would invite now Ms. Anusha, Assistant Professor, PG Department of Commerce, to take the stage to share insightful introduction of our chief guest of the day.
Good morning, everyone. It's my privilege to introduce today's chief guest, Mr. Shivkumar. Mr. Shivkumar is an internationally recognized welding technologist, a CSWIP 3.1 certified welding inspector from the Welding Institute, UK, and a trainer in non-destructive testing and welding with over 2 decades of experience. Mr. Shivkumar is a mechanical engineer from MS Ramaiah Institute of Technology, Bangalore. Mr. Shivkumar is also certified in radiography by the Atomic Energy Regulatory Board. Mr. Shivkumar is the director and co-founder of Trinity NDT Wet Solutions Private Limited, a NABL accredited center of excellence in welding. Mr. Shukumar is an expert trainer in Trinity Institute of Non-Destructive Testing Technology, a renowned training center with a global presence in Papua New Guinea, Nigeria, and Middle East. Mr. Shukumar has trained professionals worldwide, fostering skills in non-destructive testing and welding technologies. Mr. Shukumar is a president of the Pina Industries Association, one of India's largest industrial associations supporting MSMEs. Mr. Shukumar has also served as a past chairman of the Indian Institute of Welding, Bengaluru, and is a member of several esteemed technical societies like ASNT and ISNT. Mr. Shukumar collaborates with engineering institutes, research and development centers, and government bodies such as NSTI and CMTI to promote advanced welding and non-destructive testing technologies. Mr. Shukumar's dedication to skill development has also seen him serving as a jury member for India's skill competitions under Government of India. We are extremely happy to have you amongst us today, sir. I request you to kindly grace the stage, and I also request the dignitaries on the stage to honor the chief guest. Thank you, everyone. Now, I humbly request our chief guest to please address the gathering.
Yeah, first of all, I apologize for coming late. And today's, I am here because of Dr. Madhurani Gowda and Subrao sir. I thank both of them for introducing here or making this platform to address the students and the faculty members. I never come to the point of what is innovation or AA or the CSR related. The CSR things means we need to think of our Rotary clubs, especially Rotary people are here, because artfully they will do the CSR related. And Madam Madhurani Gowda Madam is telling that without expectation we have to do the CSR. Nowadays only to the audit purpose many of the organizations are doing. Sorry to tell this, but frankly telling, the CSR activities, they made a very stringent norms or different classification they have to spend the things. Before going for my talk, let us interact with the students. How many of you want to become an entrepreneur? Only one, two. See, CSR related things without expectation, if you want to do anything, the right meaning is you just become the entrepreneur. That is more than enough. Serving to the nation or giving the employment, it's a very good things. I request each one of you to focus on to become an entrepreneur. To become an entrepreneur, Even for the teaching faculty members also, I make one request, how to make the project report of CSR. If you get trained or if you involved into the company, it helps a lot. See, first time in the Pina Industrial Complex or Pina Industrial Area, which I am having a vision to make a CSR committee through my association, where we required a lot of young minds to give their inputs. I am ready to give the opportunity for them. Even faculty members also can be come forward. Even AI also. See, third sem computer science, one student is developing one opportunity which I have given for minutes making in our association. I have given the assignment. She has done the software by using the AI tool within 3 days. Not ready-made tool she has taken. She has developed by consulting with the seniors and English communication things. It came within 1 minute report printout with the Android phone itself. See, this shows the interest of the young minds to where they have to be and where they have to concentrate. Even small things within your college things, what you dream with the same topics about the innovation or the AA or the CSR related things, you can work on that, you can implement, and you can get the experience. And here each of the students who are here, you can engage with the companies, or we can give the assignment to the faculty members or the students. And I request management of the St.Francis College to engage them practicality things in our Pina Industrial Complex. We welcome for taking up the things there. The CSR verticals. What are the CSR verticals? Can be spend the money or focused area. Anybody can able tell? Faculty members. I request faculty members. Now we are talking about CSR. What are the headings has to be spent by the company or any institution thing? Do you know? See, why this point I am highlighting, this is the challenging things for the management people. Now I am covering the management of the things, some X amount is there. I need to spend the CSR activity, means how you prepare, how you handle, how you convince the management of the organization to spend money, which is challenging nowadays. We should spend the money with reference to the education sector, education system, or the health sector, or environmental and sustainability related things, even vocational training related things. The CSR related spending the money, building the or preparing the project reports, these areas you should focus. See, our industrial area, 8,000 crores contribution to the state government and the government of India. It's a huge amount which we are contributing. What all the companies comes under the CSR in our Pina region, if you take around 250, 300 industries are coming, means where the money is spending. See, my vision is to make the CSR committee or CSR activity without depending on the government. The CSR fund has to be utilized to the entire Pina industrial area. Now we require more manpower executing the work. See, why this point I am telling, where the area to be focused, I am addressing you all. Now the project has to be built and it has to be divided into the sum of the X amount of the things. And it should be within the time frame only it has to be utilized. And sustainability, again, the implementation means our investment which we are making or planning. Here you need to have how it sustained further. That also to the management you have to give the project report. And the preparing things you should engage with the practical aspects. When you engage with the practical aspects, then only you can able to learn the things. And AI plays very important role, especially we are taking an initiative of developing the technology center. Even management, I request, if you are ready to invest for the technology center, we will give the place in the Pina Industrial Complex. You can invest there. And the startup related AI or Industry 4.0 or the machine learning or whatever the technology things, I need to introduce and implement in the micro and small industries. Big organization, they will have their own planning, and any startups comes focusing on these sectors will definitely uplifting them or handhold them in terms of getting the loans or in getting the customers or each and every industries we can take there, and where you can implement in their industries you can focus. This supports and this assistance we can able to make from the Pina Industry Association, and now we are also focusing on to the technical aspects, converting them to the technology oriented things, and we want to start the vocational things and technology center, which just now I mentioned, the management can take it forward. Okay, this is my addressing to the faculty members and the students. Anyone interested in your thesis or even project implementation or the research related, you make micro and small entrepreneurs, because micro industries are 94% of the industry MSME, which we talk, 94% comes under the micro sector. The more focus where more number is there, that area none of the people are concentrating, and they will just focus on the medium and large industries, and very few opportunities are there. Even medium and large industries also very difficult or challenging jobs won't be there. If you focus on the micro and small, definitely you will get recognition. Because after my graduation, I worked in micro and I started my career as an entrepreneur, 23 years of journey in my entrepreneurs and 14 years of experience in the association. See, each and everything you will be getting learned every minute, not the academics which we learn, more challenges which we want to face. See, strongly we face all the challenges because I am an entrepreneur. Just I request each of the students to make yourself becoming an entrepreneur. That too, the same subject which we are having next 2 days, it is plays very important role for our micro and small entrepreneurs, because government of India also is focusing to the technology driven systems to be adopted, even innovation related or robotics. Now we are upcoming event, global investment meet. Any innovative projects, industries only, they are giving the stall. See, when you are working or when you are doing an internship, you can take up things, innovative things, and you can suggest the management. If you work in or do the internship in the micro and small, the person will take an immediate decision, not in the medium and large industry. If you come to my company and if you suggest or innovative things, ideas, if you give, we will take up the things. Decision making will be very faster in the micro and small. That area you can focus, and you will be getting recognition, and you will be having. And data means most important. Even by using the students itself, we are making the industry survey data collections, and whatever the export market is there or women entrepreneurs related is there, how they are performing. See, their data tells about 20.6% have been increased since 2001 onwards. See, women empowerment also which we are making. Few women or the females, those who can concentrate only that sector, and they can focus of developing the AI tool their industries. Like this, you can take up, and where it has to connect, where it has to be implement, things you focus. The subject wise, the faculty members are teaching to you, and it's a great opportunity you are getting. If you connect now itself, during the study itself, industry connects, faculty members are helping, and the industry people are helping. You can build your career in a fantastic manner. Because when we are studying this much seminars or this much workshops or any industry connectivity, we are not having during that time. Even though which we came up to this level, means when you are getting all the facilities, it is your mindset has to be changed, a transformation has to be done. Even wherever in the world you can get connected, how it is connected, or whatever the problems in the institution is there, you can prepare yourself AA module for that. You start from the institution itself, then to the industry, then you can able to get the recognition. Those who are not touching the things, you please concentrate on that. This is my suggestion and the advice I am giving. And thanks to the management of St. Francis College, especially our brother Alexander sir. Thank you for opportunity. And today we are having ACN Murthy sir also. 3 years back with the Rich Republic we had a meeting, and he is also good speaker. Let us hear from him what the observation. And Dr. Purnima madam also here, I observed. Okay, thank you one and all.
Sir, may I request you to please stay on the stage? Thank you very much, sir. Your insights were really, they have added a very true, immense pleasure, immense value to this event. And now, it's a pride moment to all of us that all the conference papers what we have received are already in the journals named JMER and UGC Care journals. We are very happy to unveil these journals before you all as a symbol of academic excellence from our ends. And I request all the dignitaries and the organizing committee members to please come on the stage as we embark this journey in unveiling the journals before you all. I request everybody to please come on the stage. Thank you very much, dignitaries, for joining this celebration of this particular Pride moment. Thank you, everybody. And of course, we have a personality, someone who can really challenge our thinking beyond the boundaries. Yes, it's none other than our keynote speaker of the day, and I request Ms. Reshma to kindly introduce our keynote speaker on this particular session.
Good morning, everyone. It's my honor and privilege to introduce our esteemed speaker for today, Mr. A.C.N. Murthy, a mechanical engineer by profession with postgraduate in business administration. He has more than 25 years of experience in senior positions such as CEO, managing director, vice president across various industries. Currently, he serves as an independent management consultant, offering strategic insight and solution to businesses. Beyond his professional accomplishment, Sir is the Zonal Governor of Rotary International District 3192 for the year 2023 and 24. His dedication to service extends to the numerous leadership roles. He is an advisor on the board of prominent corporates and educational institutions. He holds office-bearer position in several charitable trusts. He serves as a director on the board of ACN Cable Private Limited, Act Fiber Net Groups, Cable First India Private Limited. He also holds significant roles as a secretary of India-Sri Lanka ICC Committee, Chartered President of Rotary Vidyaranapura, and President of Rotary Vidyaranapura Trust. Additionally, he is an honorary director of India-Czech Business Incubator, fostering international collaboration. With extensive corporate experience spanning over 16 countries, Mr. Murthy has successfully facilitated in joint ventures, technical collaboration, product migration, has he trained Six Sigma deployment companion from Belgium. He is well versed in concepts such as 5S and lean manufacturing. He is also a passionate educator, sharing his knowledge through guest lectures for degree and MBA students as well as corporate staffs and executives. Please join me in welcoming Mr. ACN Murthy, a leader, advisor, and true Rotarian dedicated to excellence in service. I request the dignitaries to escort our seasoned leader on stage for felicitation. I request ACN Murthy sir to deliver the keynote address. Over to you, sir.
Ellarigu namaskara. Actually, I'm a bit confused whether to say good morning or to say good afternoon. I was sitting here in the front row, hoping that I will be able to start with a good morning. But somehow we have crossed 12 o'clock, so let me say good afternoon. Please greet me back with a loud good afternoon. Not enough. Good afternoon. Little louder. Good afternoon. Slightly better, slightly better. I was just trying to see to it that you are not in your hibernation mode so that you can pay some attention to what I say. Well, it's an honor for me to speak today on a topic that is probably the heart of shaping the future of business, leveraging technology and analytics for sustainable business growth, innovations in management, AI, and CSR. I have to be thankful to my good friend Dr. Subbarao for inviting me to share my views here and the entire management team. I must really congratulate because you have chosen such a good subject, which is very relevant and pertinent today. But the difficulty what I have is, subject is very vast, and your principal has asked me to play a T20 match. I am not Abhishek Sharma yesterday, nor I am Rinku Singh to hit sixers in 6 balls. I've been given 30 minutes time, and your principal said you try to cover as much as possible. So what I will try to do is that I will cover a little bit touch base with AI and data analytics, because I know there are other domain experts who will be able to cover that. A little bit about sustainable management practices, which is my core strength. And we can talk about 10-15 minutes on the best practices in management, or the kind of mistakes that the entrepreneurs are doing today, so that the businesses can survive much better. I hope that should be okay. I've been given 30 minutes time. I'll try to cover as much as possible in half an hour time. As we navigate an increasingly dynamic and interconnected world, organizations face the dual challenge of driving growth while ensuring long-term sustainability. Technology and analytics are no longer just tools. They are no longer just tools. They have become the very foundation upon which business can build their resilience, optimize their operations, and create value for both their stakeholders and the planet. To start with, let us look at the evolution of technology. Over the last few decades, we have witnessed exponential growth in digital tools, automation, and even connectivity. From artificial intelligence and machine learning to IoT, I hope you all understand what IoT is, and the blockchain management, etc. These innovations are transforming every facet of how businesses operate. You'll be surprised to hear 69% of the Indian businesses use artificial intelligence and data analytics. 69%. In fact, what is really more interesting to know is that it is more than the global average, and we are even better than United States in terms of using AI and data analytics. Please give a round of applause, na? We are able to do even better than United States in terms of using technology, particularly in business, AI and then data analytics. Other day, I was having an interactive session with industry leaders. I would like to quote one very success story from a company called Tech Mahindra. How many of you know Tech Mahindra? Just raise your hand. Fantastic. Oh, very good. I think you're all well informed. They have developed their own tool, an artificial intelligence tool called as Project Indus. In fact, this tool is running parallel to OpenAI today. The beauty of this Project Indus is, if there is let's say a virus problem in the society today, like we had COVID-19, this AI tool can analyze the microorganisms and the different vaccines to decide which vaccine is better suited for the Indian community. Such is the power of this AI, which is called as Project Indus. They've also got one more called as LLM. I hope you all understand, large language model, which we say in AI, where 1,924 different dialects spoken in the country are recognized, along with 24 mother tongues which are there in this country. 1,924 dialects. If you look at Karnataka itself, I know majority of you are from Karnataka. The language spoken in this part of Karnataka, what we call as Old Mysore, is very different from the one which is spoken in northern Karnataka. We say Uttar Karnataka the Bhashe, right? Then we have people who are from the coastal region, Malnad, South Canara. They speak a slightly different accent. The language is same. Imagine in a small state like Karnataka, if you have got 3 different dialects, a country with 1.45 billion population, 1,924 different dialects. And this particular software, or rather the AI tool Project Indus, can recognize 1,924 different ways of speaking. The beauty is, suppose there is a farmer who is driving a tractor, let's say in UP, The tractor can speak to the farmer in Bhojpuri language and tell its problems. This is the power of Project Indus, which is a homegrown Indian artificial intelligence. In fact, it is giving a challenge to OpenAI, which is a US-born company, as you know. Not only this, AI can do many more things. For example, in typical automotive companies, one of the biggest costs is quality. I'm a mechanical engineer, just like Shivkumar and few others here. We all understand the importance of quality and how much money we spend on it. In engineering terminology, we use a word called as cost of quality. How much money you spend on controlling quality, maintaining quality, inspecting, and even in by chance you have a customer complaint or a field returns, how much money you spend on rectifying it, etc. Plus you have a large workforce. Typically 5% of your cost, product cost, is cost of quality. Now using AI, you're able to bring it down to less than half of it. This is another interesting thing which AI is able to do. Not only this, the next part is about sports. Which is your favorite sport? Cricket. Why? No chess? No hockey? No badminton? Because PV Sindhu lost yesterday, you lost interest, is it? And India won the match yesterday. Abhishek Sharma scored very well, so cricket is popular. You know, very interesting fact about cricket and AI. Each time you watch on a TV channel your match, every single ball that gets bowled, 92 parameters have to be analyzed. How much? 92. Sitting on the TV screen, the bowler or the batsman will appeal for a, what is called as, what is that? DRS. He says, I want the decision to be reviewed. Maybe let's say LBW or a caught behind. In seconds, you analyze the angle at which the ball came, the speed, the drift that happened, and the various parameters. We think it's quite simple, but there are 92 parameters which have to be analyzed, and this is done with the help of AI. I thought AI does only this. Other day I heard an AI expert. He is from the media. He said something else, very interesting. He says, today we are able to use AI in such a way that looking at whether India is winning the match or losing the match, AI will decide what kind of advertisements have to go. Look at the beauty of it. Suppose you are in the last few overs, India is going to win the match. You put a very sad ad, something like, life insurance or, something which is not so pleasant. You don't like it, right? You need something with a josh at the time when India is winning. Today, AI can decide, depending upon the status of the match, what type of ad has to go. You would have seen in some of the online platforms, there is something called as win predictor. How many of you have seen it? Raise your hand. How many of you have seen the win predictor? This is an artificial intelligence tool looking at the composition of the team, the batting condition, bowling conditions, pitch conditions, weather, the score which has been done by the first team, second team, the place where the match is happening, and the fitness of individual players, considering so many parameters which will give a percentage on what is the likelihood of A team winning or likelihood of A team losing. So if India happens to have a win predictor at, let's say, 80 or 90%, you would like to see ads which are very good, which are celebration in mode. Not something where, I have seen an LIC ad recently where the wife will be cursing the husband. Oh, if you had taken a policy, it would have been so nice. We don't like to see such ads during a period where India is going to win the match. These things AI is able to do today. Anyway, I will not go too much into AI. As I said, there are other domain experts to do that. Let's move on a little bit into analytics. Data. About a few weeks back in one of the international conferences, Mukesh Ambani made a statement. The future of business, when he was talking about it, he said, the future is data. Data is money. Any decision that you have to do on a large scale, as young entrepreneurs, tomorrow you will all become business leaders of your own business or working for any other organization, the first thing that you need is data. Data and data. It is the lifeblood of any modern business, captured, processed, and interpreted in scale and speed that we once thought was completely unimaginable. The ability to harness data effectively is what will set the leaders apart. I think this is something we need to be very, very conscious about. Analytics allows us to understand consumer behavior, predict market trends, optimize your supply chain, make good decision making faster, etc. And when we talk of business sustainability, which is another core area of the seminar here, this can help companies in targeting, for example, their carbon footprint, managing their resources, cost reduction, etc., etc. I'll give you a few small examples. Let's say OTT. Today, from a single screen theater to the malls, we are moving into OTT. What is it that the OTT content which is going to be popular in serving the market? How will you know? 1.4 billion population, even if you assume 25% of them have got TVs in their home, it's a very whopping number of about 40 to 50 crores. What do they watch? When do they watch? How much do they watch? Interestingly, 85% of the OTT content, 85% of the OTT watch time, rather, is done by 5% of the people. So the question then comes, what is it that the remaining 95% are doing? That's a great opportunity. Many of you who have got Android phones are probably a smartwatch. Android phone, I know most of you have got. How many of you use a smartwatch? Just raise your hand. Oh, quite a good number. Usually your smartwatch has got a Bluetooth link which goes into an app which is there on your Android or iPhone, right? Everything is free. The app is free. How many steps did you walk in a day? How long you were keeping, not so active? During which part of the day you were active? How many kilometers did you walk or run? How many calories have you burnt? It gets stored in your mobile, Android, in a particular app. All of you students are very happy because it is free. Now ask yourself a simple question. Why would anyone give it for free? Can anybody answer why it is being given free? Data. Data. What do Indians do during the day? How much time do they spend in walking? How much time do they exercise? How much time they are inert doing nothing? How much time they sit in front of TV doing nothing? How much time do they sleep? The other day, I was listening to a TED lecture from one of the marketing experts. He was saying the competitors for OTT is not Netflix competing with Amazon Prime or somebody else competing with the Z or Disney Hotstar or something like that. The real competitor is the sleep time. When people are sleeping, there is no business. So how can we take away the sleep time? How will you know how much sleep time is there? How will you know how much time people spend on walking or exercising? This is data. If you talk of a country like India with 1.4 billion population, imagine if you combine Europe and USA and all other different countries, the kind of large data that you need to manage would be huge. But nevertheless, coming back to what I was saying, Indians have been quite smart in using AI, data analytics, cloud computing, machine learning. We have been fairly good, I would say. As I told about a few minutes back, 69% of the Indian business houses use all these technology tools, which is pretty good, much better than US, as I told. Now I will come to the next part of my presentation. Does this mean we are doing very well? Does this mean Indian economy, Indian businessmen, Indian products are all doing very well, all the entrepreneurs are doing extremely well? How many of you think answer is yes? Raise your hand. How many of you think we are doing very well? Please raise your hand. What is there? Nobody? Let me put the question in a different. How many of you think we are not doing well? Raise your hand. Actually, the beauty is the answer is both yes and no. Yes, we are doing well, no doubt about that. In certain segments, yes, we are doing well, but it is not necessary that all is well. Let us now try to understand why some portion of it is yes, and maybe take some good lessons out of that, and why it is no, and then see what lessons to learn from that. Before we move on to that, let's just understand a little bit about our own country and about our own economy. We got independence in 1947. Now we are in 2025, approximately about 75 plus years. In the next about 22 years, by 2047, we will become 100 years old. India, after independence, will become 100 years old. But the beauty here is, by 2047, the largest workforce on this planet will be from India. In fact, already we have one of the youngest workforce on this planet. They say by 2047, 21% of the workforce on this earth will be from India. And 20% of the middle class globally will be Indians. Why middle class? Because that is where the major consumer market lies. We have poor people, we have got, let's say, rich people. These are the two segments of the bell curve. But the real market comes from the middle part, which is middle class. 20% of the global middle class will be from India. We have done fairly well, no doubt about that. In fact, can somebody operate this slide? Excuse me? I just need to move the slide. Can somebody do that? Or if you have a remote, I can do that. Or give me the laptop here, I can do that. PowerPoint slides. It's there in the laptop. I need somebody to move up and down. Or you give me the laptop here, I can do that. Okay. Just say arrow down. Just go to the next slide, please. Just go arrow down. No? Okay, by the time he sets it right, I always take pride in the way India has grown. We have got a good neighbor called Pakistan. We both were born more or less with a 24 hours gap. They also got independence in 1947. We probably share the same DNA, similar biological base, and our roots are also more or less very identical. After 75 plus years of independence, see the beauty here today, the entire GDP of Pakistan as a country is about $390 billion. Whereas India, any guess? $3,907 billion is the GDP of our country. I think we deserve a round of applause, 10 times. Both countries were born more or less at the same time. We are 10 times stronger economically compared to Pakistan. In fact, the turnover of Mukesh Ambani's company, Reliance Group, is 3 times more than the turnover of Karachi Stock Exchange. That is a beauty. In fact, we have got another big leader who has been added into the list, another big businessman. Can anybody guess who it is? Who is that other businessman who is doing, in terms of numbers, very big? Sorry? Adani. Who said that? Fantastic. Adani Company's group turnover is $691 billion. You can probably put about 2, 3 Pakistans put together and one single company. That is the beauty. Ever since we got independence, for us to reach our GDP of 3 trillion, approximately 3 trillion, 1 trillion is $1,000 billion, and $1 billion is 1,000 million, 100 crores, you all know that. The first trillion for us to achieve, the first trillion took 67 years. And the second one, we did it in 8 years' time. And the third one took just 5 years. In the last 9 years, India as an economy has moved. We have overtaken Russia, overtaken Italy, Brazil, France, UK. From number 10, we have moved into number 5. And I was checking the numbers yesterday with a McKinsey report. We are almost very close to number 4. I think very shortly from 5 we'll be moving into number 4. Before pandemic COVID, we were the fastest growing economy. And after pandemic, we are still the fastest growing economy. That's a good part. As I told you, when we turn 2047 in 100 years, we turn 100 in 2047, 21% of the global workforce will be in India, 20% of the middle class will be in India. I always link up economy and growth to startups. That's an indicator. Just like we monitor BP, sugar, and then few parameters in a pathology lab to see the health of the person, startups are one indicator. We are globally number 2 in terms of number of startups. We have China, we have got Israel and US, who are other major competitors. We are globally number 3 in unicorns. You understand what a unicorn is? Can anybody tell me? What's a unicorn? Company which is able to achieve $1 billion or more US dollars in terms of revenue. 950 billion US dollars of FDI since independence. Out of that, in the last 8 years, we have got 532, and that too from 162 countries. Madam, can you give me a hand mic? What does this mean? $532 billion in last 8 years, that too from 162 countries. This is the new India which wants to be with you. This is the new India which wants to partner with you and walk with you. When 162 countries can put $500+ billion into this country, this means they see trust, they see opportunity and faith in you, me, all of us. Nobody would blindly invest money into a country unless they see not just the opportunity, but they must see confidence, faith, and then believe in all of us. This is the new India we are talking about. This is the positive part of it, as I told you. So this has resulted in lot of good startups coming in. I'll not spend too much time on this because I need to stick to my time. You know many of the successful startups, like we have got Ola, we have got Zomato, we have got Flipkart, Swiggy, we have got Byju's. Of course, now Byju's is in a little bit of problems. These few companies have created 2.84 million jobs. This is the success story about startups. But does this mean everybody is doing well and everything is going well? Does this mean all is well? Now I'll go to the second part. 90% of the Indian startups unfortunately fail within the first 5 years. In fact, I don't agree with this slide. You know why? I have seen most startups failing in 3 years' time, not even 5. Some of them fail within 12 months. Does that mean they are not intelligent? No, the answer is not so. Does that mean they don't have any talent? No. Young people like you, they started, for example, if you look at Flipkart, started by a young person like you. You look at Zomato, you look at Swiggy, you look at Blinkit, you look at many such startups have been done by young engineers, young commerce graduates, young management professionals who are extremely talented. So it is not that there was any dearth of knowledge or talent, but most of them failed. 90% have failed in less than 5 years' time. So we'll dwell upon in the next about 10 minutes on what is it that went wrong, and can we see any good lessons out of that for what we call as sustainable management practice. See, these are a few companies which shut shop in 2024 alone. I'm not even going back to the last 10 years. Just previous year alone, these many companies have closed. And there are a few more which I have not listed here. All these closed. You can see who are the investors. You can see the fourth column, total funding that has been made. $50 million, $17 million, $10 million. Big money invested, gone. So now we have to ask ourselves, what is it that went wrong? Why did they fail? We spoke about technology, we spoke about AI, data analytics, cloud computing, machine learning, blockchain, everything. We have the best of the talent, best of the knowledge, best of the technology. But why is that the businesses have started failing? Somewhere something went wrong in the way they manage their business, right? So since we have less time, I won't be able to go too much into details. Broadly, these are the reasons that the management consultants have identified as why people fail. Intense competition, unable to understand the market and then understand who is your real competitor. Resistance to change. Many of you who may inherit your business from your forefathers, father's business, son or daughter taking over, and then so on. Please understand, the formula which worked 10 years back is not necessarily okay today. The formula which is able to work today successfully will not, may not work 10 years from now. If you do not keep on adapting to changes and changes and changes, however good you are, even if you are a gold medalist, you are likely to fail. The third part is about execution challenges. It is more about unable to understand how to make money. Then we have got finance, operational challenges, etc. I'll go more into the critical part because these three are, according to me, more significant reasons. I'll just dwell upon these three for a few minutes. Okay? First, before you become an entrepreneur or a leader in any business establishment, first thing you must understand, who is your competitor? You may say, what is so big about this? Don't I know who is my competitor? Come on. You are asking such a silly question. I told you about a few minutes back that for a OTT content, a movie or a web series or whatever you call it as, the competitor is not one more producer of web series, but the competitor is the sleep time of people. Do you agree with me? Now, I'll apply the same logic and give you 4 examples. I'll just take 1 minute each for each example so that we can move on. The first one highlighted in yellow, Pepsi and Coke. In the late 1980s and 90s, there was a CEO in US called as Roberto Guzzetto. The second part, I can't pronounce his name properly. He was of a Cuban origin. He took over as the CEO of Coke in US in the 80s. At that time, for Coke, the biggest competitor was Pepsi, even now. So each time Pepsi came out with a fancy ad, Coke used to counter it. Similarly, Coke comes out with a celebrity ad, Pepsi used to counter it. So this dog-eating dog, this thing war was going on. One day, Roberto called the entire marketing team and asked them, who is your competitor? So no marks for guessing. Everybody said, oh, Pepsi is our competitor. Maybe a few other smaller brands which were not that big at that time. Then Roberto said, an average American in a day consumes about 2 liters of fluid. Please watch the words I'm using. I didn't say water. An average American consumes about 2 liters of, let's say, liquid. That's about 2000 ml. He said out of this 2000 ml, just 200 ml is beverages like Pepsi or Coke. The remaining 1.8 liters is coffee, tea, beer, water, fruit juice, milk, blah, 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 blah. He said, out of 2 liters, if we are using only 200 ml, my real competition is not Pepsi. My competition is coffee, my competition is tea, my competition is beer, my competition is water, and so on. How nice is this logic, see? So he came out with the concept that each time an average person feels like drinking something, feels thirsty, there must be a Coke available for him to drink. Then he started a vending machine. Roadside corner, bus stop, train, airport, everywhere, vending machines. You feel like drinking something? Forget coffee, forget tea, forget water, forget beer. Drink Coke, drink Coke, drink Coke. You know the result? 1982, when he took over as the CEO, the Coke company's turnover was $4 billion. In 1996 or 97, when he retired, it was $146 billion. He's a genius. So the real competitor was not another company, but it was something else. This is the first example I wanted to tell you. Now moving on, you see at the second slide, you see an aircraft. For all the airline companies, who is the competitor? Who is the competitor? You go and ask Indigo, they will say Air India, maybe SpiceJet and so on. Or you ask an international airline, Lufthansa will say Air France or British Airways and whatnot. But you know where the real competition is for an airline? Anybody can guess from the audience? Who is a competitor for airline? Sorry? You have to say a little loudly. Other mode of transport, maybe something more? Huh? Sorry? I think somebody said the answer. I didn't. Nobody will penalize you if you give a wrong answer. No. It is your Zoom and online tools. If I have to go to United States to meet someone for the purpose of a business meeting, if I can do it online with a video conferencing, why will I travel? In the years to come, all these online platforms will pose a very, very big challenge to the airlines. It's already started happening. During the point of time when I started my career, physical travel was the norm. Today, 80% of the meetings overseas, when you have to meet someone, happens online. So the real threat for an airline is not one more aircraft carrier, but things like Google Meet or your Zoom and such other platforms. You agree with me? Good. Then further, post office. I had shared this some time back also in the same college. We have forgotten writing. Writing letter, putting it into a post box. I don't think any of you would believe that such a thing existed. Now we have gone one more step further, not even email. We have gone to WhatsApp now. So in my childhood days, we used to have this red color post box in every street. Today, I have to search where there is such a box available. Usually, there is one available in front of the post office, that too only for government-related letters. Silently, this department is getting shut down unless they diversify. Last is Bollywood cinema. I can bet nobody will in this auditorium will answer this question. Who is a competitor for cinemas? You will say it is one more producer, perhaps. Sorry? No, that is also a content, no? No. OTT is to some extent, I agree. You will be surprised with the answer. It is a T20 cricket match. Now we have got Champions Trophy coming up shortly. If there is an India-Pakistan T20 match, even Shah Rukh Khan movie, no tickets will be sold. So people have to look at, before releasing a movie, is there a T20 match coming up, especially India-Pakistan or a major one? And in fact, many of the movie producers have given a request to Government of India to allow screening, live screening of cricket matches in movie theaters. Because on such good matches, which are, energy-packed matches, nobody will go to the theater. Who thought, tell me, 10 years back, that for a Hindi Bollywood movie, cricket match could become a competitor? Now, if any of you are attentive, I see one more small picture at the right-hand bottom. Chocolates. You may say, what, Mr. Murthy forgot to put a chocolate there, or by mistake it has come? This is one more victim. 10, 15 years back, all these chocolate companies were doing extremely well, starting from eclairs to different brands, Paris, you name it. Because each time you went to a shop, you buy something, let's say you have to pay 48 rupees, you give 50, for 2 rupees change, you will get chocolates. Chocolate sales was doing extremely well because of the change. Now what do? Phone Pay, Google Pay, Amazon Pay, you name it. The entire industry is on the verge of shutdown. Earlier, I used to see at least 10 different brands. Now the number of brands have come down, and very, very few people really opt for this unless you want to. Silently, one industry has got killed. So why I gave these examples is, you must first understand where is your real competition coming from and where is the market. If you fail to understand this, however good you are, you will be wiped out. You could have an MBA Harvard graduate running a toffee company. He wouldn't even imagine PhonePe and Google Pay can kill his business. Yes or no? Good. Now let's go to the next part. Adaptability to changes. As I told you, what was good earlier is not necessarily good today. You have to keep adapting to the changes. Few examples. First one is a Kodak color film. About 2 decades back, before the digital photography came in, people used to have a camera with a film roll. Many of you may not be aware of it. And Kodak was the world #1. When the digital technology, digital camera started clicking in, they refused to accept this change. They said, we'll continue to rule the market. We are the leaders. We are the leaders. And this company is now wiped out because they could not adapt to the change. The second one, all of you know, I don't have to tell more, Ambassador cars. They were the #1 in automotive market, and today more or less wiped out, except in Calcutta city where you see Ambassador cars becoming taxis. Most of the places it has been completely eliminated. It is not that everything is bad. You see the bottom 2, we have got Bajaj. They used to make traditionally Bajaj scooters. Bajaj Chetak, Bajaj Super and whatnot, some of you may have seen. They transformed themselves into an excellent company producing world-class motorbikes. For example, Pulsar, most of you know, is a very successful model. They adapted to the change and survived. And you see one more towards the bottom called ITC. Can anyone guess what ITC has done? Diversified, fantastic. ITC was known for only producing cigarettes, different brands of cigarettes. Today, they are into paper industry, they are into hotels, they are into hospitality, they make biscuits and then whatnot, and no more dependent on cigarettes alone for their survival. An excellent way of adapting. Okay? I've come more or less towards the end of my presentation. The last part is how to make profit. I told you about the operational difficulties. Many companies, many entrepreneurs struggle because they don't know how to make money. They're good in technology, good in education, they have all the talent, but they don't know how to make money. Traditionally, my friends, please look at the bottom. I request all of you to memorize these 2 lines. All of us, particularly Indians, we have been brought up with one single line concept that cost plus profit is equal to selling price. I'm making a pen, manufacturing, let's say, it cost me 10 rupees. I want 5 rupees profit, so I'll sell it at 15 rupees. This is our concept. Please change this to selling price minus profit is equal to cost. If a customer is willing to pay me 10 rupees for a pen, and I want, let's say, 3 rupees profit out of that, I have to find a way to make the penny in 7 rupees. This should be the new, I would say, approach. But above all, profit comes from managing this most vital resource. What is this most vital resource? Any guess? I told you in the beginning, time. This is the only resource where how much ever efforts you put, you can't get more. It is limited, fixed. Same for all of us. So remember the golden rule. If you have to save money, please find ways to save time. I'll just give 2-3 examples of time saving. With that, I'll close my presentation. You see the first one, ATM. About 20 years back, withdrawing money from the bank used to take 2 to 2.5 hours. You have to go physically to the bank, present your check and whatnot. Today, you walk into an ATM, you can draw it in few minutes. Perhaps if you can do an online digital transfer, it can be done in seconds. Both are same. From A, money had to go to B. It used to take 2 hours. You have brought it down to 2 minutes. So what is it that you have saved in this whole process? Young friends, tomorrow when you become business leaders, whether it is your own business or you become a corporate leader in some company, your single line motto should be not just selling a good product, good value addition. You must look at how do I save time in making it happen. Look at, for example, Zomato and Swiggy. The hotels existed earlier also. Food existed earlier also. You get it delivered in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. They say, why do you have to walk all the way to the hotel? We'll deliver it to your house. What does this mean? Saving time, saving time. You have got express highways. We have got cars which are able to go faster than what they were before. Why? Bring down the journey time. Bring down the journey time. Means what? Time, time, and time. Similarly, IoT, I'll not go much into that, and online ticket booking. These are all tools which are meant towards saving time, saving time, saving time, so that you save money. Okay, good. I'll come to the last part. Just a recap of what we discussed. Understand the market and then realize who is your real competitor. Continuously adapt to changing business scenario. Time is the most valuable resource. So if at all you want to save time, please save money. Did I say correctly? I was just observing. Now, if you have to save money, please save time. Now, I've come to the last slide. People usually ask me, sir, if you follow all this, is this the key to success? Again, my answer is yes and no. Yes, using all these things would be good. But from my experience of 2.5 decades in corporates and working with entrepreneurs, one of the other things which I have not put it in this slide here is people give up very easily when they encounter failures in the beginning. Please do not give up. Failures can teach us a lot of good lessons. In fact, they say failure is a stepping stone to success. Just because you have some setbacks in the beginning, you have got failures, please do not think, and then please, if you don't get up and then come back, I would say that is a bigger sin. It is sometimes okay to fail. It teaches valuable lessons, but it is important to learn and more importantly, get up. One of my management friends was telling jokingly, in today's fast-moving world, we don't have a lot of time to learn when we make mistakes. And we don't have a lot of time to make mistakes also. So he says, fail faster and come back stronger. Good? With this, I end my this thing. Thank you for a very, very patient hearing, and good luck to all of you.
Thank you, sir. It was such an insightful talk indeed. Hallmark of any institution lies in the strength of its leadership. We have one such leader who exemplifies this statement, and definitely the mention goes to our esteemed chairman, Reverend Brother Xavier Alexander. Brother, may I request you to kindly deliver the presidential address?
Good afternoon to everybody. I was doubting whether anybody will be there to see the presidential address. We need to invent some more to how to keep the audience listening to everyone all through. Esteemed Chief Guest Sri Shiv Kumar, Professor Madhurani Gowda, S.N. Murthy, the powerful speaker, Principal Dr. R.N. Subbarao, Brother Peter, the Director, Deputy Director, Brother Titus Santo, staff and students of SFC, and the HODs, all of you are here. I am from a philosophical and anthropological background. Therefore, my speech will be around something around there. Why we are in this situation now, why we speak about all these things. If you remember, those people who were in business in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, even 80s, they were thinking how to invest 10 lakhs rupees and how to make a profit of another 10 lakhs by the end of the year, maybe by hook or crook. That was the strategy followed. Today we have hundreds of methods coming through because of the Industrial Revolution 4.0. What made humans an edge over all other animals and turned us into the masters of the planet was not our own individual rationality, but our unparalleled ability to think together in larger groups. Now, people who are watching all this conference from other countries and other places also absorb or imbibe the spirit of this conference and what exactly the idea that is being said here in this hall. The International Conference on Leveraging Technology and Analytics for Sustainable Business Growth, Innovative in Management, Artificial Intelligence, and CSR. Indeed, it is a remarkable initiative by St. Francis College aimed at uniting scholars, industry professionals, and policymakers on a common platform to discuss the convergence of technology and analytics in fostering sustainable economic development. The world of business is rapidly evolving, driven by advancement in AI technology, data analytics, and innovative management practices. In today's competitive business landscape, it is essential for business of all sizes to leverage technology to streamline their processes. By automating repetitive tasks, improving commercialized communication and collaboration, and gaining insights from data, technology, and can help business to operate more efficiently and effectively. When we speak of leveraging technology, we are referring to the use of technology to make significant changes in a business. When an organization harnesses the power of technology, the investments pay off in an exponential return. Sustainability no longer just a corporate responsibility has become a core driver of strategic growth and global competitiveness. This even serves as a catalyst for critical thought and transformative ideas that will shape the future of responsible and technology-driven business strategies. I'm grateful to the esteemed keynote speakers, panelists, and research authors who will illumine the path forward in their expertise. A special word of appreciation goes to our conference partners and the dedicated organizing team for their tireless efforts in making this event a reality. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all participants for contributing their research and insights. It is my sincere hope that this conference will spark innovative collaborations, drive impactful research, and inspire action forward towards sustainable business excellence. Let's get in deeper and understand the essence of leveraging technology for sustainable business growth. May this be a platform where ideas converge, partnerships bloom, and meaningful dialogues lead to solutions that benefit business, society, and the environment alike. Best wishes for a productive and successful conference. The end. Thank you.
Thank you, brother, for your phenomenal talk on this event, which was truly elegant enough for us all. As we arrive at the closure of this program, I would request Ms. Anu, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Applications, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to everyone. It is my privilege and honor to deliver the vote of thanks for this extraordinary gathering at the International Conference on Leveraging Technology and Analytics for Sustainable Business Growth, Innovations in Management, AI, and CSR. First and foremost, I express my heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, Mr. Shivkumar R., President of PIA in absentia, for gracing the inaugural session and sharing his inspiring words. Your thoughts have left an indelible mark on our minds. A special thanks to our guest of honor, Dr. Madhurani Gowda, Director, FKCCI, for providing insightful perspectives that enrich the inaugural session. Our gratitude also extends to Mr. A.C.N. Murthy, Management Consultant and Director of Public Image, Rotary International District 3192, for his keynote address, which was thought-provoking and set the perfect tone for the conference. To our esteemed Chairman, Reverend Brother Xavier Alexander, Director, Reverend Brother Peter, Deputy Director, Reverend Brother Dr. Titus Anto in absentia, Administrator Reverend Brother Bala in absentia, and our beloved Principal Dr. R.N. Subbarao, we thank you for your unwavering support and visionary guidance that have made this event possible. I express our deepest gratitude to the members of the Advisory Committee and our session chairs. Your steadfast support and valuable insights have been instrumental in shaping this event. Your expertise and dedication have enriched our discussions and outcomes. To our esteemed delegates and participants, thank you for your active engagement and valuable contributions. A special thanks to our teaching and non-teaching staff. Your hard work and dedication, both in the forefront and behind the scenes, have ensured the smooth execution of this event. I also extend my appreciation to the organizing team and student volunteers whose tireless efforts ensured the seamless execution of this conference. Thank you all once again for being part of this memorable conference. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Anu. Well, let's all break for 5 minutes for tea and refreshments. And after that, I request you all to kindly assemble back in the same venue for the plenary session 1. That's on academic and research insights. Thank you. We will be expecting you back in 5 minutes.
Also, it is doing very well. Look at here, Arvind Eye Hospital, they found out that they diagnosed the diabetic retinopathy using the retinal imaging at hospital and predict, and they were able to predict the heart attack, and so in the 5% of the people, and they found the accuracy of 98.6%. So even the healthcare, the machine are doing the very reliable prediction of people falling sick or having the heart problem, so how it can be done, so that they were able to predict with that. Then COVID prediction, there also we use analytics to predict how fast it is going to spread and how one can take care about it. Then BFSI, even the stock market, today prediction is not done by manpower, but it is done by AI, machine learning. You have algorithm, you have got technology which monitors regularly and guide you accordingly where to invest, where not to invest. So some of the case studies I have just given there. Then you also have the industries, the other industries like IBM have used data analytics successfully for every 15 minutes, correct? What they are doing now is they are collecting big data every 15 minutes instead of 30 days before. This helps IBM to understand energy usage pattern better and does recommend industries how they can save energy. See, from 30 days, they have come down to 15 minutes. So that is how the technology is changing the business scenario and trying to make the business as efficient as possible. Then gaming and entertainment is something where IBM Watson used AI in Wimbledon 2018 to analyze player emotions, correct? And expression through hundreds of hours of footage, and then it auto-generated highlights or telecasts. This was new at that time, but today, after every match, during match, it is being observed, and they are going to predict the winning or the emotions of the player towards the game. So these are the places where we are using analytics very successfully and helping the people to take decisions. Yes, next slide. So as we move on to 2025, more companies are thinking about imbibing analytics, and more technology they are trying to have to process data and to facilitate them. And the person who is able to draw meaning from data is going to sustain for longer. So this is a well-known fact now. So based on that, we can see the lot of trends which are trending 2025 onwards in business analytics. Can I have the next slide? Yes. So these are the innovation in business analytics. So as an academician, I was just thinking as a research area, so what area you can do research or carry on research in business analytics which will really add value to the literature. So I found these are the trends or innovation in analytics which is working on. The first one is augmented analytics. So what we are thinking now is making the analytics very simple. Even the non-technical person should be able to use analytics and use data for interpretation and use it for their references. So that is what something we are working on now, because augmented analytics will give not only give the data, but give the instructions what they have to do, how they have to take the decisions. So then we are working on real-time analytics. So nothing like based on 1 month data, you can predict 1 month. No, it is based on just now data, the prediction can be done. So that is something which is happening. Privacy issue is something which is a hot topic in research now, and that's an innovation. How to make the data more private, correct? How privacy has to be taken care. Cyber security has become an issue. The government is also spending a lot of money, a lot of investment is happening on that. So that is one innovation where we are thinking about it. Then data democratization. We wanted data to become, everyone should have data. Data should not be there only in the top level or in the middle level, but everyone should be in position with data. So how are we going to do that? Correct? Then that data is there, but how to present it, how to visualize it, correct? How to make it more attractive to the decision makers. So that is something which is emerging. Then technology is very expensive, not many can afford it. So close-based analytics is something where business is working on. Then IoT and big data analytics, then explainable AI. Next slide. Yes, then nowadays you have seen that any product which is on sale, they ask you to write review. It's over. So any product you are buying, they ask you to write review about the product. And whatever review you are writing it, based on that, the purchasing will be done by others. So that is what we called it as natural language processing. Can we process same review? And from that data, can some meaningful insight can be decided? Can a predictive analysis can be done to find out how customer will behave in future, what products they buy? So that is something where a lot of research is required and where a lot of innovation is going to happen in the future. Then hybrid and multi-cloud deployment. And now all these things have led to a lot of ethical issues. So ethical AI and bias mitigation. So that is something where we are working on. Then supply chain analytics, then predictive maintenance. So AI and machine learning. So AI used to be different than machine learning. Now we are trying to integrate these both. Can we integrate these two? Any software, can it carry on the analytics as well? So that is something where we are working on now. So these are the research areas where I feel there are a lot of opportunities for you to bring up the papers and present it in various conferences and get your publications done, because we are expecting the innovations in these areas in management as we are moving towards technology. These are certain areas where you can work on. Correct? So to conclude, I want to tell you that data and business analytics become more accessible, user-friendly. Organization professionals that effectively harness the power of data will better position to stay competitive, adapt to changing market dynamics, uncover new opportunities in evolving landscape of business. So that's all. Thank you so much for the opportunity once again. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Dr. Arpana Prasad from New Horizon College, and I would like to thank Dr. Nazura and Dr. Binita for inviting me here and giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts on which is in sync with the theme of the conference, and it is navigating innovation in business analytics and machine and artificial intelligence. Okay, anyway, according to the theme context, it is like why innovation in business analytics and artificial intelligence matters. I believe very strongly that the future is this. We are going to have an office where AI or robots or AI is going to perform a very major role. Now, where do we stand? When AI is taking so much of role, where do we stand? So basically, AI is here and it is yet to stay. And it is time for humans to outthink. That means innovate. You have no reason to work hard. You don't have to outwork. You have to outthink. We have to co-survive with AI. Yes, so anyway, ma'am has already talked about business analytics. Business analytics means we are having data. From those data, we are getting insights by intelligently analyzing the data, and we are taking help of the machine, the algorithms, so that we get an analysis which is proper and we can predict and prescribe our future plan. Are you understanding? So this is like real-time analytics for agility, means with the feedback, we can do the real-time analysis. So basically, if you look at the stats, from 2018 to 2025, the growth has been exponential in terms of the usage of business analytics. The usage of business analytics, the market size, the turnover, which we are getting due to business analytics, is like you can see, it is just exponential growth is there. And there are several applications of BI. I will go to the other slide to explain better. You can see the job opportunities which are rising. Again, there's an exponential rise in the job opportunities If you look at it, again, 2018 to 2027, you can see how much job opportunities are expected in business analytics fields. And definitely, we have to handhold AI. There is, as Sir, when initially in one of the keynote address, he was saying, there's so much AI can do. So much. Sometimes I feel that what I can do in 30 days, 35 days, I am able to accomplish with the help of AI in another, say, 1 hour or so. And I can do intelligently, doing what I want, what I exactly want is available to me with the help of AI. Right? So our productivity has changed a lot with the AI, especially with ChatGPT, Gemini, and so many other AI tools. Our productivity has really changed across since 2022, I can say, or 23, December, I can say. So applications of business intelligence in AI, if you see, 25% of the total applications are on customer insights. All business, actually, whatever we do is makes sense only if we are able to hold our customers, right? So if we are intelligently, able to plan our next movement, plan each and every movement, then we are having a hold on the market. And hold on the market, we are taking the hold of the market with the help of customer insights, which we are deriving from AI. So we all are generating enormous amount of data throughout the day. Maybe we feel that we are just getting entertained. We feel we are just using our mobiles. Whatever we are doing, we are finally generating data, which is of utmost important to anybody who wants to do analytics. And as it was told in the keynote speech also, that whatever we are doing, we are generating data is gold. Data is gold. And we are generating a lot. And if you can see, I'll quickly go through that 20% for predictive analysis, operation efficiency, how better we can perform with the help of business analytics, that is 18% is the application of BI. Then financial analysis, 15%, market trends, 12%, and risk management, 10%. So I'll just talk about some use cases of, you might be knowing it already, but just we will go through some use cases of business analytics. So business analytics in retail is used to personalize recommendation. We all are experiencing full day, whether it is a YouTube video which is coming to me or a product. What kind of, I search for a product in Nykaa and the similar product is visible in Myntra. All those things we are very, very much used to. There's no need for telling that how those recommendations are happening. All the data, all my navigations are getting stored, analyzed. All my behaviors are being stored and analyzed, and proper insights are drawn from there. So healthcare, again, we have so much data getting generated from so many. We are going for health checkups and other things, so many things. We are doing unknowingly and knowingly, consciously, and all the data is helping in disease identification, in understanding what is going to be the health of the society in next 5 years. All those things are happening. Then finance and banking, like fraud detection and money laundering and all, so much analytics are being used. Then manufacturing, yes, supply chain management, and total this whole landscape of manufacturing has changed. I have put some case study in my slides ahead. I'll discuss that. So in e-commerce, I'm not going through each and every word on the slide. E-commerce, telecommunication, optimizing the networks, where maybe I'm sure Airtel would be where they need to invest to put their towers. All those things are now not like all the decisions are being made through data. Then transportation and logistics, Amazon is using AI wonderfully. Their data warehouses are totally AI driven. And real estate price estimation insights, like if I put a particular price for my house and it is not sold for X number of years, it is of no use to me, right? So there are predictive models which can propose that this is the at this particular time of the year, this is the price you should be putting, and how many months you want the house to be sold or the property to be sold. Accordingly, they will help us to predict a price which is viable. So anyway, these are all key areas. So basically key areas of AI is predictive analytics, data mining, mining the data using some algorithm, customer segmentation, and natural language processing. I'll get to this a little more. So applications, AI application for business optimization. We are using we are in a very, very competitive world. So we have to optimize each and every process of what we are doing. So recommendation system, what is a recommendation system? It comprises of collecting data, analyzing the data, then personalizing it and continuously learning from the data. So if I am behaving in a particular manner or if I am driving in a particular manner today, I may have a change in my behavior tomorrow, day after, and accordingly I want Google Maps to recommend me correctly. Yes, so recommendation system, optimizing algorithm, anomaly detection. This is again very, very important. I'm sure that the banking systems, they can make out that this is a money laundering case just by, suppose I'm using a credit card right now here, and the same credit card within few seconds are being used in a very different geographical location, then that calls upon there's an anomaly which needs to be detected. Then robotic process automation, all the mundane tasks are now going to AI. All the mundane tasks, you can just record a set of robotic process automations, and there are many companies like Automata and all, which are helping with the products for robotic process automation. So AI is for churn prediction, how Airtel can predict that this particular customer is now going to change his or her service provider. So all that to predict that that is like customer leaving a particular product or a service. So predicting the churn for the particular customer, fraud detection, real-time analytics, and marketing analytics. These are the AI for decision making. Now, I will just briefly, I don't know how many people are here from the computer science background. Most of the people who are researchers would be knowing the tools and techniques which are used, but I will just draw your attention to the tools and techniques or the methodologies which are used for business intelligence. So we have machine learning. Machine learning is, there are two types of models, supervised models and unsupervised models. And for supervised model, we classify the problems as regression problem and classification problem. So we may want to have binary classification, we may have to have a multi-label classification, or we may have to have a multi-modal classification. So I'll just, I have laid down some examples, like for example, if I want to detect a spam in an email, it is a binary classification. Whether a patient has cancer, yes or no, it is a binary classification. Then multi-label classification will be, like for example, from a particular movie, I want to label that movie as whether it's a comedy, whether it's a horror, or whether it's a action, or it's a romance, whatever. So that means multi-label classification I want to do. Multimodal classification would be like disease diagnosis, and it will require a little more deeper insights from AI tools. So we have regression problems. So basically, classification problem is, you can say, it is like the outcomes are discrete. In regression problems, the outcomes are continuous in nature. So basically, I will not go into the details of looking into the time also in constraint. So I had a few things to speak, but I'll just tell you that these are the terms which most of you who are from computer background would have used these algorithms. These are the regression problem. These are the supervised learning algorithms for regression problems. Then unsupervised learning algorithms are, see what happens is in supervised learning, we have already a data which is already labeled, which we call as a training data set. But in unsupervised learning, we don't have a already labeled data set. And so an unsupervised problems can be on clustering, dimensionality reduction, and association rule mining. So now more, if you talk about, we were talking about, I remember when in 2012 and all, when I started my PhD, I was very, very, overwhelmed with machine learning. Then came deep learning. Now we are all talking about large language models. Like my PhD is in natural language processing. And now it's all about, like you see ChatGPT, Gemini and all, they are all large language models. That means we are deriving information from full text, summarization is there, translation is there. So many features are there. I think especially the students would have used ChatGPT and Gemini to a very great extent. Whether we are recommending programs, whether we are recommending outcomes, all those things are present. And it's so much, it is posing a lot of risk to us as a professional also. Because so much machine is able to do, what will happen? We as a teacher also, so much. If you just ask ChatGPT to explain a particular concept, 2 words, it will explain it so well. You ask Gemini, you can give data to it and ask it to summarize from that data. All those things are happening. So now if you look forward, there is a risk of replacement, right? Any individual, any professional can be replaced, right? Like earlier, I'll just give you one example. It just came to my mind. Earlier, we had to look good to have a beautiful photograph, right? Now we don't even need to look good to have a beautiful photograph. The photograph can be, the AI is going to take care of us looking good in the photograph. Yes or no? So when we talk about natural language processing, we have text analytics. So as ma'am was also telling that we are putting in so many reviews, we are writing so many WhatsApp messages, we are putting in so much status, anything which is now, some things of course are private, some things are in public domain, and all these texts which we are generating, we, like for my PhD itself, I was, I use such kind of texts which were in lakhs for, coming up with my algorithm and testing my algorithm and all those things. So all these texts which we are generating, the large language models are using it for drawing insights, and they are supporting the companies for effective decision making and strategic planning. So predictive analytics and data mining, we have time series forecasting, regression analysis, customer algorithms, clustering algorithms are there, association rule mining is there, anomaly detection is there. I have few more, I will not, because I think this is an interdisciplinary audience, I will not go too much in detail of each and every technical aspect. I had planned though. So we have optimization techniques and recommendation systems, like genetic algorithms are there, linear programming is there, simulated annealing is there, collaborating filtering is there, content-based filtering is there. Computer vision and neural networks. Now, I'll just tell you one case study. Like, we have a lot of, algorithms where we can just simply looking at a leaf, giving a leaf image as an input, we can find out what are the disease, whether this particular leaf is diseased, yes or no. We go beyond it, whether this leaf is diseased, yes or no, and which disease it is, right? So there's a lot of scope. See, all these algorithms and all these data sets, they are available at a global level with data collected at global level. It is quite possible that for a diseased plant in Karnataka, that particular, those data sets are not labeled for that particular disease. So I see a lot of research scope in that area where if you look at the data sets, there's a lot of data sets which are void of Indian names. They are void of Indianization of data labels, Indianized labels. So there's a lot of scope in that area which anybody as a researcher can take over. But what is required is we need domain expert to label that particular disease, and maybe those labeling can be in local language. That's how whatever machine learning algorithms or deep learning algorithms or models which we are creating, we are actually using data sets which are labeled in some other part of the world, right? But to our farmer, we need to tell, if I need to make an app, I need to tell him in his local language which disease is this on this particular plant. And accordingly, I should be able to give him or recommend a solution, right? And that solution has to be localized. So me as a researcher, I see a lot of scope in terms of patenting as well as creating models with respect to Indianization or local geographical details like banana, all the, like I did one research for mushrooms in the Western Ghats of Karnataka. So for that, I had a student from there and he helped me with that research, right? So, sorry. So basically, we are actually, when we say we are sitting on knowledge, when we talk in terms of AI, it is, we are sitting on data. Data is useful. When we talk in terms of AI, it is knowledge. And how we represent the knowledge and how we use a system which uses that knowledge is what expert systems do. And definitely expert system, what they do is they make decision making of, they mimic the human power of decision making. So, sentiment analysis and AI in business, and the sentiment is, as you told, as everybody says in marketing, that retaining customer is very, very difficult. So, to retain the customer, what we need to have the opinion of customer well harnessed and well, modeled into our decisions, right? So that is what AI is doing. So I'll just give you some case study. Okay, I think I'll just give you this one. Can you identify this? Maybe if you can't speak, you can just think. What is it? It is Amazon warehouse. It is an Amazon warehouse where they are using AI totally. You cannot see any human being there. With the help of drones and robots, the whole warehouse, you see how huge warehousing of Amazon must be there and how prompt. And still, even if we don't like a product, we prefer using Amazon. Why? Because we feel that there's a guarantee that it will come and it will be returned properly and the logistics are going to be taken care of very, very well, right? So this is one case study of Amazon. Now, personalized recommendations are coming from Amazon, right? So that's how they are using machine learning algorithms and AI. Then warehouse automation is there, where the full warehouse is being managed through AI system and AI-enabled systems. Then Alexa voice assistant is there, again, AI being used by Amazon. Then fraud detection is also done by Amazon. So most of the time, if you see, Amazon is very good with the customer. Like if I lose a particular, consignment I have not received, Amazon will return the money immediately, right? They are very good at holding the customer. So I'm not, I'm not promoting Amazon, I'm just promoting the usage of AI. So then can you identify this? Self-driving car. So much machine learning is involved. Just imagine very soon drivers will also not have job. We don't need drivers. See, we don't, I think, so many, once I was talking, so many things, no, we don't need. Now, why? Because see, self-driving cars, already that ADAS technology is there, right? So much it is helpful in driving, where you get to know, okay, you can't change. Even the car is going to show that this is time for cup of tea. Everything, all those are coming. So self-driving car, just see what all must be there. It's all AI driven. How you drive on the road becomes the data through which these models are trained and they are successful, and we are getting these kind of cars very soon. See, all things which I had heard 10 years back are already a truth. So I'm dead sure what all we are imagining as impossible will be a truth not in 10 years, but in 5 years. Then can you identify what is this? This is a smart city. Smart city, what do you mean by a smart city? What is a smart city? Singapore, we all know, it's a smart city. Why we call it as a smart city? Yesterday only on FM I was hearing that, sorry, not yesterday, today itself while I was driving here, on the FM I was hearing that BMTC has, they will stop taking cash. and they are expecting a huge revenue because they are going to stop taking cash. Is it one step towards making Bangalore a smart city? Yes or no? Yes, I am answering. So, we have Singapore, which is a smart city, and it has got smart mobility, digital identification, sensor networks, and data analytics for each and every resource. And I would rather talk about few smart cities in India. There are many, many examples across the globe, but I have come down to India. So if you look at India, Gujarat, I think that smart city word coined in, I think, 2015 or 16 for India. It was a new term for India when smart city was mentioned. Then this Surat in Gujarat is into integrating command and control center for its city services. Smart water management is there, renewable energy is there. And Pune in Maharashtra has smart mobility, citizen engagement is totally through digital platforms, and environmental monitoring, air quality monitoring is done through digital platforms. Like totally, I was hearing in particular city in, I think, like how much fog is going to be there, and then controlling rains has also, of course it's very controversial, but yes, those kind of things have also been there. Then Kochi, Kerala on water transportation, water infrastructure, planning. See, planning a network totally comes through an algorithm. It's not just, now everything is coming through algorithm. Even like one example was like, we are spending a lot of money on interior designing of our house. And now all that is also coming through algorithms. You must have heard about so many advertisements. Like you can just simply call a person, they will you can just install a software, and that is going to design everything around your home. So waste management, waste segregation is one thing. Sensors are there on the, I think a lot of students are doing their projects related to IoT for waste management. And we use blockchain technology for, generating income and getting income and paying the, paying for our waste. So it's like you can see in electricity, no? In electricity, what we are doing, solar power, we are able to sell our electricity. So similarly for waste, some kind of innovation is happening in that direction, that if I'm generating waste, I'm also, I can also be paid for that, right? Through the blockchain technologies. Then renewable energy. Now, I know I am going a little ahead, but guys, all the, people in the audience, you think strong, hard, especially the students, I will say. What fundamental human skill will be most valuable for AI-driven world? We can't let AI take over everything and we become jobless, we can't. We have never done that, right? The human has always overpowered and always found a new way of being ahead of technology, right? So, as an individual, we also need to understand and think in those terms. What skills should I have so that in AI-driven, I know 80% of the work will be done by AI, but still I should be required. So what skills do I need to have? Then, if you should also think that if you were to design a new job that perfectly complements AI capabilities, what would the job be and what skills would it require? This is for a little senior people who are already working at a better positions, they can think. Then if AI would take one aspect of your current job, what aspect it will? I am a teacher. I can think of 10 things which AI can do and take over on my roles and responsibilities. Yes, means I know as a researcher also, my role can be taken over by AI. So many roles can be taken over by AI. Now generating PPTs will be minutes job. Yes or no, ma'am? It's going to be minutes job. So all that can be done. Anyway, Oh, sorry, I went. So, what is the IT landscape ahead? These are the programming language, Python, R, SQL, Java to stay. Then data analysis and visualization techniques, Excel, Tableau, Power BI, Pandas, Plotlib, machine learning and deep learning algorithms, big data technologies, natural language processing. So if somebody says that, where should I invest my time when everything is getting obsolete? These are the areas where one should invest time to remain with AI. And what we need to do is we have to complement AI as well as, if possible, we have to generate new AI techniques and AI algorithms. Then analytical skills which are important. I'm not talking about computing skills. Analytical skills which are important is statistical skills, analysis skills, predictive analysis and forecasting skills, and optimization skills. Domain knowledge is very, very important. I cannot train a model. Like it was very, very, I just saw it in one of the news flashes that Indian rural women are speaking to train. They are being paid by Google so that they just speak various lines and record so that they can train their AI models, right? So that is also one area where people have started earning. If you don't know, that is one. Then problem solving and strategic thinking. Though AI can be very, very powerful, but the innovation, the empathy which can come from a human being cannot come through AI. So fundamental things, human skills which are going to be valuable in creating new products will be creativity and innovation, emotional intelligence, ethical decision making that AI may not be able to do, adaptability and lifelong learning, leadership and collaboration, and interdisciplinary knowledge. So these are the key takeaways from my session today. AI, and that's it. For now, I would be very happy to answer any question if somebody wants to. And one thing I would definitely say is, please go in for patenting. We all feel, I also, last 2 years before, I was not into patent designing or patenting, but gradually I felt when we are walking, we need to identify problems and propose solutions. Those solutions can be a working solution or a design solution. And whatever we do, if we are able to patent it and maybe bring it to, to a production level, so that's how we can help India grow in this age of AI and everything. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I thank both the speakers because it was a very innovative session on AI. I really had a very thoughtful insights based on these topics in business analytics. As it was very unique thoughts which has brought, and in future what we can do in AI, what research areas we can focus on. All these were the good thoughts which speakers have given us today. I really appreciate and thank you for your time that you have taken for us today. The session lies in mentoring the future leaders and driving impactful research and fostering global collaboration. Now, I would like to thank Dr. Noor Firdaus Jahan for the effort and time devoted to share how data is analyzed statistically and machine learning to improve the business performance. Now, I kindly request you to accept a small token of appreciation. Thank you, ma'am. Now, I'll also thank Dr. Arpana Prasad for the dedication to nurture learners and professionals about analyzing the past data to understand the trends and the future outcomes. Now, I kindly request you to accept a small token of appreciation. Thank you, Ma.
Positive impact on society and the environment. With technology becoming a catalyst for change, the integration of CSR into sustainable business practices has the potential to redefine how businesses operate and contribute to a better world. To lead this engaging discussion, we are privileged to have with us Professor Dr. Maya Salimat, our esteemed moderator for the session. a distinguished academician, entrepreneur, corporate trainer, and a quality advisor. With 18 years of experience spanning academics, administration, training, and research, Dr. Maya Salimat currently serves as the director and principal of Vivekananda Institute of Management. Her impressive credentials include an MBA, MPhil, and PhD in management, complemented by certification as a corporate trainer, auditor for ISO, and trainer by NBA and NAC. She has also undergone executive education in strategic management at IIM Bangalore and advanced behavioral science training with ISABS. Dr. Salimat's contribution to education and entrepreneurship are extensive. She has authored 5 books, published 24 journal papers, and presented 40 conference papers of national and international repute. Recognized with numerous awards, including the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award for Teaching Excellence, Dr. Maya Salimat has delivered over 200 special lectures and is actively involved with organizations like SEDOC, CRED, Tamil Nadu, and Awake to promote entrepreneurship and development. A true inspiration and visionary leader, Dr. Maya Salimat is a perfect choice to moderate today's discussion. Please join me in welcoming her with a warm round of applause. Thank you, ma'am. Now, allow me to introduce to our accomplished panelists who being a wealth of knowledge and experience in the discussion. It's my pleasure to introduce distinguished expert in the field of networking, embedded system, and advanced telecommunication, Mr. Natesh Revankar. With over 18 years of exceptional experience, Mr. Natesh has been at the forefront of innovation, contribution to transformative projects in sectors like telecom, IoT, and next-generation networking technologies. Currently serving as the technical leader at Nokia, Mr. Natesh spearheads cutting-edge LTE and 5G projects, focusing on the development and deployment of 4G and 5G networks. His extensive background include role as a technical architect at Wipro, where he led platform development for Cisco Catalyst switches, and contribution to pioneering IoT-based smart home solutions during his tenure at Happiest Mind Technologies. Mr. Natesh's impressive credentials are strengthened by his certification in CCNA and CCNP and supervised machine learning, along with 2 patents filed in India. His previous roles at ViewNet System, Cisco System, and Samsung Printing Solution further demonstrate his versatile, ranging from developing data acquisition system to enhancing user experience for multifunction peripherals. Mr. Natesh embodies the qualities of a visionary and technical leader. His journey is a testament to his ability to manage large teams, drive innovation, and solve complex challenges in rapidly evolving technological landscape. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Natesh Revankar to the panel. Honored to use a dynamic and accomplished professional, Mr. Marshall J. Sebastian, as a panelist for today's discussion. With over 12 years of experience in investment banking and operational management, Mr. Marshall has built a remarkable career delivering value to global institutions and driving excellence in operational efficiency and risk management. As a senior operation manager at State Street Bank, Mr. Marshall has been instrumental in building and mentoring high-performing teams, managing assets worth 1.6 trillion across 11,878 accounts for 8 global investment managers. His leadership extends to implementing advanced performance, managing complex client onboarding processes, and executing data migration and platform conversations. Recognized for his ability to lead and inspire, Mr. Marshall has been promoted 5 times in 7 years. Mr. Sebastian's professional journey includes prior experience at Northern Trust Asset Management, where he specialized in performance and analytics, as well as fund and transfer agency operations. He brings a wealth of knowledge in workflow design, operational readiness, and governance, which has set benchmark in the industry. An advocate for continuous learning, Mr. Marshall is pursuing an executive development program in general management IIM Raipur and holds certification in capital, securities, and derivative markets. His technical expertise span a range of platform and tools. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Marshall Sebastian to the panel. His insights and perspective will undoubtedly add immense value to our discussion today. It's also an honor to introduce our panelist, Dr. Shubhamangala Sunil, a trailblazer in the field of cybersecurity and information security. With over 2 decades of experience, Dr. Shubhamangala is a leading authority in the domain, having executed critical projects for organizations ranging from multinational corporations to government agencies, including the Supreme Court of India, the Indian Navy, and NTPC. Our expertise spans cybersecurity policy formulation, auditing, forensic, and cyber law consultancy across industries and geographies, including the USA, Australia, Middle East, and Southeast Asia. Dr. Shubhamangala holds numerous prestigious certifications, including Certified Ethical Hacker, Certified Anti-Terrorism Specialist, and certification in Cloud Security, IoT Forensics, and Machine Learning. As the CEO of GCSRT Private Limited, she has resolved over 10,000 cybersecurity cases and completed 5,000 plus projects globally. She is also a passionate educator, having developed cybersecurity curricula for esteemed institutions like the National Law School of India, University, and trained over 5,000 professionals in government and corporate sectors. Beyond her professional achievements, Dr. Shubhamangala is a founder of impactful activities such as eSwachh Bharat campaign and the Women's Cybersecurity Cell, advocating for digital safety and awareness at grassroots level. Her influence extends internationally as an ambassador for APWG in Asia and GCC in regions. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Shubhamangala Sunil to the panel. Our last panelist, Ms. Manasa Jagdish, is a seasoned chartered accountant practitioner since 2016 and the proprietor of Manasa Jagdish and Associates. A distinguished alumna of Mount Carmel College, Bangalore, she has an illustrious academic record, including securing 3rd rank in a BCom class and earning accolades of excellence in cost accounting. As a dedicated mentor, Ms. Manasa has facilitated over 50 orientation programs at ICAI Bangalore, teaching more than 2,000 aspiring chartered accountants. She is also a sought-after trainer for personality development, communication skill, and interview preparation, having conducted workshops for various academic and professional institutions. Her contribution extends to academia, where she has participated as a Board of Studies member under NEP 2020 and served as a guest speaker on leadership, communication, and accounting topics at esteemed institutions like Christ University and Ames IBS Business School. With her expertise and passion of mentoring, she continues to inspire students and professionals alike in the domains of finance and leadership. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Manasa to the panel discussion. A hearty welcome to all the panelists and the moderator. Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon to all the experts and the participants and the students. So the two-day international conference organized by St. Francis College on leveraging technology and analytics for sustainable business growth, innovation in management, AI and CSR. I understand that we have students here from UG. And note for the students, please listen carefully. You may not get a lot of situations where you have the stars here to listen to them. So to start with, my question would go to Dr. Shubha ma'am, who's, I don't know how many of you are aware, she comes every day on cyber school with Pat Pat Pataki Shruti on Big FM. So, ma'am is expert in cyber security. All I wanted to know is, how does cyber security frameworks help us for sustainable development in the present scenario, where we can find a lot of cyber crimes happening?
As we speak about the cybersecurity, we all know that we are depending on that. Can I understand, is there anybody who is not depending on the cyberspace today? Anybody without a mobile phone? I think I'm asking a question saying that, is somebody alive? There is nobody who is alive without a phone here. That means not only the phone, when we talk about the mobile phone, any student who is interested with a phone without internet? Not at all. Okay, thanks for that. So that means major part of our life is dependent on a backbone called the space, that is cyberspace today. So when we are talking about our next leveraging technologies for improvement in this, that is the innovations and the growth, cyberspace plays a very important role. Because today, whenever we are asking about any question today, I'm very sure most of the faculties here would agree with me saying that when there is a question in the classroom, the first thing student does it, he will just jump onto the Google. Are they have registered themselves to the Google University by any chance? Because faculties are going ahead and giving them the knowledge, but students are depending. Not only the students, anybody today, we are depending. And yes, of course, the technology has been growing in such a way that for each and everything, we ask a question saying that, am I having and technology involved in this? Hope there is nobody here who have filled their paper-based registration form for their college. It's always online now. Anything we ask today, we'll say, is this available on online? Can I do it on online? So the technology is growing in so fast manner that we want everything on online, everything on our palms, saying that I want to do it through my mobile. So we are depending on the technology. So what kind of technology we are depending? We are depending on the technology which is 5G today. I'm talking only today, but other 6 months we will be depending on 6G. So that means the speed what we are expecting is more than what you think about making Maggie. Because Maggie takes 2 minutes. And I can't wait for 2 minutes to go ahead and download something on the mobile. Hell. We want it instant. That means the technology, whatever we are looking for our new innovations, yes, of course, we are completely depending on that. In today's world, whatever we are expecting, we want it with the technology included with artificial intelligence. Because we say that even in the hospitals today, they say that we have the AI involved. That means it will be going ahead and reading your history. That means whatever the medical history you are having, it will be taking a chance of seeing what are the medications which was given to you, compare it with that, and see the scanning and whatever the tests which are being done for you today, and give us an input saying that what is that which the doctor can expect today. So that means AI is doing the doctor job. Is it not doing any other job? Yes, it is doing a lot of jobs here today. Because artificial intelligence has grown so much. Anybody who had watched the Robo movie? Anybody? I think most of you, Rajinikanth's movie. You remember that, right? So at the end of the movie, we remember that whatever the programming and the content we are feeding to the machine, is what it's going to give the output as. That means the smarter part of the table is at the human side. That means we want the youngsters to come up with the bright ideas, skills which is involved, saying that what is that we can do with the present technology, artificial intelligence, our IoTs, our machine language, whatever it is. That's the reason I'm very sure the St. Francis College had a plan of having the discussion about the topic, what they have picked up, especially with the AI today. Because yes, we are depending on the technology, we are depending on the AI. To what extent? To the extent which is going to ease our job, not to the extent where it is going to spoil us. So 100% technology is going to grow in such a way that sitting at home, I'm going to say that, yeah, tomorrow I want to do this and I want an AI. That AI is going to help me out to come and execute these XYZ, whatever the parameters I'm going to give. So whether it is in medical, whether it is in a food industry, and you might be sure about the entertainment industry today. Maximum of AI is being involved in that. So companies, yes. When we talk about Army, Navy, Air Force, yes, of course, AI is involved. So can we name a domain which doesn't have the technology? I don't think so. Probably some students, I think for this question, they had raised their answer saying that, Madam, agriculture. Let me tell you, even that has the technology and the artificial intelligence involved in that today. Because that's the reason we are able to predict a lot of the things about the weather, about the soil, the quality of soil. Everything is being done with the technology and the AI. So I think it's going to play the important role for us, whether we are sitting in India, US, London, whichever the part of the world, technology is needed. And let me tell you, we are going to depend more. As of now, I'm very sure that there are so many people, so many kiddos here who carry the mobile to bathroom also. So you are not able to get detached with your mobile. That means it has become a part of your life, including your body now. So that's the technology, what it is getting involved today. Let me tell you, kiddos, Google can give you everything. But the most important thing is shaping your life, which your faculties, your parents, and you yourself can do it, not your Google.
Okay, so our cyber expert says technology is something which has to be used, but in a proper manner. So jumping from cyber expert, I'll ask the question to someone who's into Nokia and telecommunications, hopefully. So we are all working with 5G. Next another 6 months, 6G also would come in. My question to Mr. Natesh is, how can advanced connections, the solutions, contribute to the sustainable development of any business? How would it go about?
Yeah. Advanced connection means more information being circulated here to there to here, and everywhere. An example is, I can quote, like some refrigerators are there today, which even can give the expiry dates of their products which are inside. Why it is needed? More control, more knowledge, what you have, to the extent that when it's going to. Because the shelf life of a product is something like few days or few hours. So in that sense, every minute detail of a product, what you have, need to be known from any place. So if I want to switch on a geyser in the evening, not in the morning, while I commute, then it is something like I'm going to control something from a remote place. It is all because of the interconnection between the devices. 5G is nothing but a load of data is being shared, and 6G is the next step where more and more devices are being connected. So in that way, the devices are getting added and added and added in a home or in any environment. To control that, you need a network which can exchange the data by making it to control. So what I feel is like, it is the data which is getting exchanged need to be controlled, and need to be used judicially. So in that way, more and more data need to be shared, more and data need to be analyzed, more and data need to be given or supported. For that, the technological advancement of the Gs are required. It is the generation. And as I said, it is the information that once upon a time, gold was supposed to be the reserve. Later, in some discussion, one said that data will be the next future. Who has the data will be the king. And that is being seen. Because data analysis is being done, on the analysis, the predictions are being done. Even the stock markets, up, downs, everything is because of the data, what we have. Even the sales, even the, whatever you take is with respect to the data, what we have. So the data is the main thing. It is the next fuel, next to petrol, what we are having. So we need to use it judicially. And artificial system, what you are saying, it's like an intelligent system where you are going to use your knowledge by artificial support. Means, as a child, if you teach a child a good thing, it will come up with a good manner. If you say this color as red, it will come up, whenever it sees this color, it replies as it's a red color. In the same way, if you teach it good, the system will give you good. The same way with the artificial systems. You have to train the systems with the data judicially and use it properly so that it will predict few things which will be helpful. That's what it's our responsibility to use the data which is there, freely available. Maybe our Truecallers, our data things which we are using day in, day out, but use it judicially. Yeah.
So, Mr. Natesh says, your network is your net worth. Right?
Yes.
So, coming from the technology person to the investment person. So, we have Mr. Marshall with us, investment banking expert. Sir, my question is, how does the technology and AI and the analytics have transformed the investment opportunities for any business or even individual also? How?
Thank you. Before I answer that question, just to carry forward from the thought we just had. So data is the new king, as we say. So it definitely transforms from there, but the basic necessities a human ideally would need, the roti, kapda, makan, which we have all heard. Now it is roti, kapda, makan and data. It's a 2 GB data per person which is required to be fed through the system, through your mobile and the networks. Right? So these have now been embedded in the DNA of a human in a day-to-day life. Right? So now moving to the banking and the investment sector in which we see AI and all the areas of AI being clearly making significant ground level changes. And from a portfolio management perspective, these are significantly improvements in decision-making capabilities that we have seen over a period of time. So there are 4 components a human makes a decision based out of. The first is his or her emotional capabilities. The next is based on their physical capabilities. The next is based on their mental capabilities. And finally, their spiritual capabilities. So in all these 4 domains, the decision making is by a human, which is easily being used through a system to the capacity in which it is ready as of now and make significantly advanced decision making. So let's deep dive into two of these decision making capabilities where an artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep data science would help us. So it is very clear that emotional decision making and spiritual decision making would continue to be residing with the humans itself. it is not as easy for a system to understand feelings, right? So what it can do is definitely make significant difference to our decision making based on data, as we have all seen, the analytical ability as well as our physical abilities, right? So the physical abilities, we can easily say from a data perspective or from a human capability perspective. Both from human capabilities, we can have robotics, and from the decision making of the data, we clearly can be leveraging the technology. And finally, to the mental capabilities. So when we try to analyze a situation or a decision making for investment, we clearly have only one way to go, right? Either it is a yes or it is a no, right? There's no middle way. Let's figure it out by doing something midway, right? So earlier we used to have models, regression analysis, as well as data giving us 200 odd factor decisions, meaning there are 200 different possibilities and factors that were considered before a decision would be made based on the data. Now the volume of data has significantly improved so much that now we can factor in over 500 variables. 500 variables would clearly, in simple terms, would be what's the inflation rate across the world, what is the demographics of a country, what is happening across the world in FX movements, what are geopolitical scenarios that are impacting positively and negatively in a decision making within a country and within a country to a company specific. So the data itself has been such X-fold now available. The models have also been evolved to give us more precise, because we can backtrack a lot of the decisions we are expected to take. We can see if we would have taken this decision 5 years back, would it be led to a positive impact or a negative impact? So we can backtrack all the decisions that we can generate out of a system, but it has a human capability which is missing. The human capabilities are the emotional factors where we understand the company is not driven by just data and people, it is also driven by the motivation and the passion of a leader. These factors are not yet covered in decision making through a system, and that's where human continues to make the right and positive impact. Even after a system generates a positive outcome, we can easily override, because there are few abilities which are called quantitative abilities, which the system cannot figure it out. It's only the quantitative ability the system can figure out, not the qualitative abilities. So one thing I'll end this topic with from my side, the first AI system that was ever built, could you guess which year it was? Okay, so it was 2010, very close to 1956, correct? So it was developed by a company called UPS, United Parcel Service, one of US most trusted and quite nationwide parcel service. Why they had to choose and decide that they need an AI is where their capabilities to calculate stopped. So what they wanted to figure out was, they wanted to figure out how efficiently can we deliver a parcel across America in the shortest and most efficient time, right? Including the price factor as well. So what they wanted to do is they wanted to map out the entire America to see where is the possibilities they could be most efficient. So mapping the entire country is absolutely very difficult, even if you have a GIS system, okay? So what they came up with an idea which they wanted to test was, what if my vehicles do not stop at a signal? Goods, where we stopped. So what they did is they thought of an idea that what if I completely stop stopping at the signals, in India, we have a free left, right? In US, we have a free right. So you're free to go right without any signal stopping you. So they decided that they will continue to go only right and never take a left and stop at a signal. So what that did is, it clearly increased efficiency and it clearly reduced fuel capacity, fuel usage. But what it did was, it kind of stopped some of these parcels by not taking a left, okay? Because they clearly wanted to stop at a signal which was not as per the model predicted, right? So what they did is, I will continue to go right and I will never stop. Even if there is a no parking, I will still continue to park there and deliver, and I'll only take a right and come back. I'll never take a left. That's the model algorithm that was set. And then they back-tested that model, and they figured out that not stopping at a signal significantly reduced time, for sure, reduced fuel costs as well. And finally, what they figured out was they were paying $750,000 a year on fines because they were stopping at no parking areas. So they told this doesn't make sense. But when they completed the entire model, the model clearly predicted they were close to $200 million of saving that could be generated by spending $750,000 on just parking tickets. So the model expanded across the country, made sure the calculation and algorithms were precise to the location at which a truck or a van could go, and make sure the technology is advanced enough to make sure there is a predictability of even there is a change in tariffs of a parking ticket, etc., could be factored in and still could generate positive results. So this was thought through in 2010, much earlier than even we know that AI could play a significant role in our systems. But an idea is all it takes, and passion to figure out efficiency and driving your capabilities to a limit is all that is required to generate any change in this world. So that's my point on AI and business.
Good history on AI. I'm sure many of us weren't knowing about it. So my next question is to Ms. Manasa. She being a chartered accountant, my question is, how is that analytics, AI, or your whole ML data science, how has that helped you, or how is the role of all these technology help you in the financial planning and auditing and risk management?
So good evening to everyone present here. My other fellow panelists told you about real-time experience with AI, how they've been working with it. But our job is an entire post-mortem process, because after they've all experienced and done whatever that they've done, the cost associated is left is what we start our work with. Okay. Coming to AI, how is it helping in our fraternity, in a CA fraternity is, see, the first thing is in terms of the financials, profit and loss account, balance sheet, which you're all aware of. So traditionally, what our job used to be is prepare the accounts, present it in a, whichever Schedule 6 format or in the format required by law, and then provide your opinion on the same. Okay. Now, what has happened is, even in terms of presentation, however you need it, the AI in process has automated a lot of the job for us. So it does most of this part, which is helpful, and then we go with presentation and providing our analysis of the numbers. Apart from that, now generally if any of you would know, if your father wants to take up a loan, or if your brother or sister wants to start a business, the first thing that they ask is, first is, what is your income? Okay. Have you filed your IT returns for the past 3 years? The next thing that they ask is, what about your startup or your business? In the next 3 or 4 or 5 financial years, what income is it going to generate? What revenue is it going to generate? Okay. Now it has that also, like if you already provide certain data, certain variables into the system, it is able to throw out the budgets and forecasts. It's able to give you a projected balance sheet and P&L, which life becomes a lot more easier. So by telling that, say suppose your brother or sister wants to start a business in agriculture itself. So again, how many acres of land are there? What is the maintenance per square feet? Then what is the revenue? Again, how much yield is coming and how is it in every 3 months, 6 months yield or every year yield? So you just have to key in all these variables and it's able to throw. Now our job here, my intervention as a CA here, again we go with our experience and check whether that data, whatever is presented, whatever that output that is given, whether that holds good, fair, correct, true in all respects. Okay? Based on experience, based on different ratios that we analyze. So we go through the data and then we give the presentable or we give the refined reports to our clients. So in terms of budgets, forecasts, the next step is obviously audit. So for us, audit is the next important task. So once you have your financials ready, once you have all your cost numbers, whatever that the company has performed in the last financial year, now we start with the audit, where whatever that is being said and done, to give you in simple layman language, whether it is correct and true, that's what is audit, right? Whether if they say that, let's take this conference, so your professors will go and tell that so much amount was invested or so much amount was incurred for panelists or for their maybe their refreshments or anything. So what do they ask the next thing? Give a bill for it, correct, no? Give an adjacent bill for it. Now, how can this aspect work in auditing? So when you have your entire data rolled out in spreadsheets or wherever that data is collected, that again, with certain variables, we can push that data in and set certain questions to ask. Okay? That whether the bill or whatever that was given, how do we cross-validate? The bill date should have been the date of the conference, correct? Simple as that. Yeah? Validate that. So the day that was incurred, the day it was paid, whether that bill has been appearing, whether that expense has been appearing or not. Okay? So given such circumstances, auditing also, we can do 100% audit. If the condition there being, all the data should have been collected properly in the right way. Then 100% audit, instead of doing sampling, we can go with the entire population of the data and perform audit. Also, sometimes what happens, data is haywire. So that organizing for us, again, it's a tedious job. So that again, push it, let the system do the part for us, and then we start analyzing to make strategic decisions. So gone are the days where, the first question that is asked whenever we go is, ma'am, since AI has come in, so what is the main job for you? Because it will be doing everything, correct? Like Mr. Marshall mentioned, but the human aspect to it, yes, the analyzing, the qualitative analysis can only be done by an expert. Yes? So, in auditing, this is how we're able to make use. For all the other professionals and even for you students, we cannot deny AI, or we cannot, like ma'am was telling, it is a part and parcel of life now. But how do we adapt, how do we make use of it to our advantage is what matters. Yes? Similarly, apart from audit, even if you take, I think, risk management, it can give you scenarios based on past data that this area is very susceptible to fraud. Yes? This is where your loophole is. This is how you can take advantage. So all this, by data feeding, we can get what responses, or we can do that analysis by using AI. And it has, of course, helped our profession very much over the past couple of years. And we're looking to see how this can integrate more into the system so that we can work hand in hand to bring about a greater impact.
So my next question is to Shubha ma'am. As ma'am told, there are a lot of risks available, especially with the cyber security risk. What are the various risks for the companies who are using AI, and how do they mitigate them?
When we talk about cybersecurity, as you all know, we are having the cybercrime which is raising, and we are seeing the stats saying that, as she also sits next to me, statistics of the cybercrime, and when we put it onto the audit for the cybersecurity audit today, we see that it's raising every second, not every day. I say every second. And getting the AI involved with the present technology and seeing how much of problem an organization is facing, how much of problem an government is facing, or an individual. To sum up all the three of these people sitting here, that is with Marshall, Mansa, and Sir, that is the technology and the accounts. Let me quickly take you through a small story. It's a pizza house or a pizza corner, whatever you call it as. They will get a call from a person saying that I am Dr. Naveen. A name has been picked. So I'm Dr. Naveen, I would like to go ahead and order a pizza. So the storekeeper, he says, yes sir, we have your information. He says, I would like to order double cheese burst pizza. And the storekeeper says, no sir, we can't go ahead and give you this. He'll say, why? Why can't you give me that? He says, recently you got open heart surgery done, so double cheese, it's not good because of a lot of cholesterol in that, ruled out. So then he says, okay fine, get me the margarita. Then she says, okay, margarita, small or big. So he chooses medium. Then he says, I'll make the payment, that is COD. She says, sir, no COD allowed, could you please make the payment? He'll say, okay fine, I'll make the payment through my credit card. Storekeeper says, sir, your credit card limit has been expired. You can't make the payment. He'll be like, okay, fine, I'll use my debit card. She will say, sir, I'm very sorry, there is no balance in your card. He will say, forget it. I will go ahead and come from my home and pick it up. She will say, sorry sir, you recently have sold your house, so you can't come less than 20 minutes because you are not nearby now. He'll be frustrated. He will say, okay, fine, I'll take my car and I'll come. She will say, no, we know that your car has been seized last month. Okay, storekeeper says, okay, fine, I'll take my two-wheeler and come. She'll say, sorry, we know that even your two-wheeler is being seized. He'll say, what else? The information you have. He says, everything. That's because artificial intelligence. Because the moment they pick up the data, as we are talking about the data, speed, or the accounts, everything combined together, here we see that today how much of issues we are facing as an individual. All of my data is being known by somebody else. Let me ask you one question. How many of you have your phone locked with your biometric? Face recognition? Most of you. Let me ask you another question. When you have the locks enabled, how come some stupid guy is having your data? Why didn't you lock that? You're not ready to share your password with your mama. Morning she will come and you'll say, let me know your password. You will say, no. For all the gentlemen sitting here, you will never share your password to your wife. But somebody else knows about your own data. That means they know everything about you. Let me talk about the artificial intelligence, what the Facebook has been involved today. It knows everything about you. Where do you stay? What do you eat? What do you talk? What do you do? Everything is being known. Do you know that even though if your phone is being switched off, it can go ahead and record all your data, and once the phone has been restarted, it can send the data, and we call this as an agent sitting inside your phone. That is the reason one of my school friend is going ahead and sending me a request on Facebook saying that, hey Shubha, do you remember me? How come? That's because the artificial intelligence, whatever is sitting over there, it is trying to connect all these using the analytics. So that means every organization today with the artificial intelligence, it is having the data exceeded than what it is required. But when it comes to the security, the biggest question mark. Because in India, we are not having anything as penalty if there is no audit in this done. It's not your audit, we are talking about cyber security audit. In every other country, we have something as penalty where if they are not submitting their cyber security audit, they have to pay the penalty. In India, we are still waiting for that. So, first problem. Second problem, as a common man, how many of you go to hospitals or bank and ask, saying that, hey boss, I have given my data, how it has been secured? How many of you are asking? All the students here, you are giving your data to your college. Have you ever asked saying that, sir, how it has been secured? You want a SIM, you're going ahead and giving your biometric. Are you asking that? So we have a problem on both the side, on the Airtel side or Spice, whatever the connection, on with my citizens also. Both of them are having the problem. Tomorrow, if somebody files a complaint, how is it going to be fought? Let me tell you another quick scenario. How many of you have the calculators here? Everybody. Okay, let us do a math. For all the people who know me, I'm also a junior of Madam Shakuntala Devi, so you can challenge me on the maths also. Are there anybody who is having the prepaid connection here? Okay, we had the prepaid connection with, as you all know. So per minute, what would be the cost now? 1 paise. Correct? So how many of you calculate how much of seconds or minutes you are talking to the opposite party? No? Nobody? Okay. What if your ISP, that is the service provider, says that your call, the previous one, whatever you spoke was 4 minutes and the cost is 40 paise? Is it correct, wrong? God knows. We have not calculated. There was a case which was in 2011 when it was filed against XYZ ISP. I don't want to name them because it's a very well-known service provider. That is your mobile connection provider. For them, we say it as a counter. That means the counting machine in your phone which calculates, or in the ISP which calculates your seconds. For them, the counter was set was 48 seconds. That means 1 minute is equal to 48 seconds. Now you calculate. If it is 1 paise, if it is 4 minutes, what you have spoken? If the cost is 1 paise for 1 minute, how much the cost it should be? How much they have charged? Because 48 seconds is equal to 1 minute. So for all you can do the calculation now, take the help of your Google and give me the answer. Because that was an offense when you are talking. That was a crime. Because as a customer, for me, 1 minute is 60 seconds. But as a service provider, 48 seconds. That means how much of money you are eating from my bucket? Okay. Keep that question. I'll give you a second question now. We are sitting in Karnataka. How many Kannadigas we are there? How many? How many Kannadigas? Everybody knows Kannada? 7 koti Kannadiಗರಿದ್ದೀವಿ ನಾವು. Okay. How many of us are having the bank account? All the 8 crores are having the bank account. Now, take the calculation. If there is a hacker who will hack 10 paise per account, how much of money he is making for 1 day? Okay, let me make it little easier. If it is 1 rupee per account, how much of money he is making per day?
80 lakhs.
We are having 7 crores of Kannadigas. 7 crores. So, can he go ahead and hack your account for 1 rupee? Will you be going to bank and complaining it by any chance? For 10 rupees? 100 rupees at least? So, I can sit as a hacker, take 100 rupees from your account, go to some other country for 1 year, come back again as 1 day working here, take another 50 rupees or 100 rupees and go back to other country. So how much of crime is happening to the bank and to the citizen here? So artificial intelligence, technology. So that means whatever the cyber crime today is happening, it is, yes, of course, it is harming the government, it is harming the organization, it is harming every citizen today. But we are all Indians. We love to save the criminals. We'll say, "Are yaar, sirf 10 rupees hai na, chalega. 100 rupees hai na, chalega. Kab tak chalega?" Right? So, whenever we are talking about the technology, yes, it is overriding on our head today. Only thing what we need to do is make a control of it, saying that how we are going to use it. And whenever we see that there is a crime, whether it is the organization side, government side, or at the citizen side, we should raise our voice saying that, boss, enough is enough. I am here to go ahead and complain. Because for this bank issue, whatever I asked, everybody said that, ma'am, my bank is 6 kilometers away. Think about the petrol, think about the time it takes, but think about the money what the criminals are making. And this type of crime, whoever is, all the youngsters here, we call it a salami attack. So that's how the technology, artificial intelligence, or the control of it is on the 3 sides.
Hello, check. After that 1 rupee wala case which ma'am told, I remember that trend reel which is happening. I'll go to Mahakumbh and take 1 rupee from each 80 crore people attending, I'll become a rich person.
We don't have change nowadays. We use UPI. Sorry.
Okay, so my next question is to Mr. Natesh. We have been talking about general businesses and the implementation and risks of AI implementation. What are the key challenges which are faced by adopting all these cutting edge technologies at your company, and if allowed, how are your leaders helping to overcome it?
Yeah.
So it's more a Nokia specific question.
Yeah. Artificial intelligence is something more and more algorithms you are putting in some device. For doing that, you need some processor, you need some extra algorithms which has to run, which has to take the data, store the data, use it, process it, and do some conclusion out of it. For that, you need, you may be having, you may have used some of the video processors, maybe some gaming equipment. And it is basically an NVIDIA chip. And recently, NVIDIA chip, before coming this AI, have you ever seen the stocks, how it was making, how it was performing? Because after the social media, who is going to play something? Hardly few people. So the stocks of these graphic processors, which is the gaming heart, was coming down. Later, what happened? These are making some way into the AI processing. Then what happened? All these data which are being stored are being analyzed using few algorithms which use those processors, which are not CPUs, which are not the main memory or the main chip. It is a side chip which will do something and it will give the result and store the result somewhere in the chip, somewhere in the hard disk, and that will be used. In that way, those companies, the NVIDIA chip, are being used for processing this. Today, the stocks of NVIDIA has grown up more than 300 times, even more than that. It's because the additional things are being done in a parallel way, not in the main chip, and it is being used. The same way, you need some infrastructure to do that in any hardware. So if you want something, even if any of your handset camera, earlier the camera you have to tune, you have to make the two lenses and make it as a single line. Maybe some photographers can correlate this. But nowadays the cameras are something like you touch it, you get it. The resolution auto set. If it is not set, click somewhere and put it again, it will do it. So those kind of extra work which it has to do has to be supported in the hardware itself. Then only it can. So hardware change is a main thing which is a time consuming. Later the software stuffs which go on top of it are a matter of time. So the major hardware change is needed to support any of these artificial intelligence or any of these, and the software changes also. So yeah, it is a matter of time and it is a need, and definitely all companies, all hardware manufacturers has to support it. Then the software need to be built on top of it, and the users are crazy about it. So the hardware changes are the driving force, and definitely it will happen. So the infrastructure needs, obviously cloud is coming. You don't have to do anything in the locally. You just get the data and just dump the data in the cloud. There are processes, there are tools in the cloud itself which will do all the stuffs and get all the extract of what is the data on and give the result. And it will be in some basics of MB, and it will come back to your mobile or your handset. So you don't have to invest much on the end user. The cloud, the the infrastructure is already there, which are being provided by genes, and you will have to use it. The more you use, more you have to pay. Like the cloud is coming, which is the heart of this AI. Definitely it will flourish, and it will help a lot in making all these algorithms work faster. Nowadays, it's not that strong because even if you have more processing in a chip itself, it will get heated up. Yeah, definitely. And those things are being supported by cloud. Definitely it will be more and more data transfer and more algorithms being run in the cloud, and you get the end result, what you need. And definitely those things are the lifeline for the future. So think of the cloud, you will get the most out of it.
So, question to Mr. Marshall. What are the innovative financial instruments and strategies which have emerged recently? And how can businesses leverage them for a long-term growth and sustainability?
Yeah, so talking about new technology in financial industries, let's take a step back to look at history as well, how we have progressed to where we have reached. Over 150 to 200 years back, there was two very simple instruments that were available. Debt, when you take a credit from someone and you have to pay back, and equity, which is either 100% owning a company or doing a partnership and sharing whatever comes positive or negative out of it as partners. These were the standard instruments or standard ways where people used to do business or own business, right? Over a period of time, businesses expanded, they went cross borders, and we created something called as derivatives to hedge our positions. It could be for betterment or for risk-taking abilities of people, right? So derivatives was initially created to help business to safeguard the risk and positions, right? However, now at this stage where we have come, now is the time of cryptos, which is basically a system which is less regulated. Secondly, it doesn't control, it doesn't have any control from any political limited countries. And finally, the risk-taking abilities of it is also significantly high because it's a technology not proven, not backed by an asset itself. So this is where the human civilization and their extreme abilities come into play. So humans, we all would have heard from our ancestral and our parents' generation where fixed deposits were considered to be something like a safe instrument. We want to safeguard our money. Then came from the boomers to the Gen Z, or towards the end of the boomer generation where they had exposure to equities. We have significant expertise and exposure now in derivatives. For people who can afford to take risk are taking, people who can't afford to take risk are also taking. So from there we have significantly further upgraded ourselves to extreme pressure and extreme risk, which is the crypto world now. However, this is something the humans have evolved to manage because they have always been seeking to go and test their extremes. So over a period of time, wherever we see markets giving good returns, our securities going good or bad, we are now no more happy even with those. We want to stress our limits to extreme. And over a period of time, what we have seen, at least to the world I belong to, tracking the crypto, which is the digital asset market, the returns for that has been also significantly high. 2023 had somewhere around 38% of positive growth. 2024, which was significantly very good for the crypto world, had almost 55 to 60% growth. And with Mr. Donald Trump now coming to power, I think the markets do expect further volatility and a great year ahead for crypto as well. So the question here is these technologies here to stay? Because they are already here, right? What we have seen is with the evolution of the financial markets and the financial instruments, right from debt, equity, derivatives, complex hedging strategies, they are all created and they are still continuing to be here. So what that clearly tells us is the world of crypto, right? It is a technology and it is a way forward for a lot of investment strategies, and it is here to stay. Like it or not, there is a market for it, there is a supply for it, and it will reach their end goals. And finally, what the risk-taking abilities that we have evolved to, I think people are quite comfortable in looking at their portfolios now that 50% up today and 100% down today, and they will just continue to stay with that volatility because we have evolved from a fixed deposit to equities, to derivatives, and now to cryptos. So the evolution itself is pushing us to the limits, and trust me, from the baby boomers to Gen Z to Gen X and to Alpha, if we have, they are here to use these assets. We may not be very exposed and comfortable with this risk, but those would be. So these are technologies which are continuing to be here. It would be instruments of huge investments in future because the generation itself is there to sustain it. So that's my point of view on future investment instruments.
Mansa ma'am, when almost all companies are now adopting AI, what do you think are the ethical challenges which are faced by the CA?
Continuing from the previous instance that I shared with all of you, like we were discussing, it's the data that we key in. Now, if the data itself is inaccurate, or if it is manipulated, or if there has been some anomaly in that, then obviously the output that it gives cannot be relied upon. So, see, as CAs, we know the costs, we know the finance term to it, we know the solvency ratio. All this you tell us, we'll be able to understand. But to go and understand how the AI has thrown that output is not our cup of tea. Okay? So even for us, there are certain standards that we follow, there are certain guidelines that we follow, which say, in case of such anomalies happening, we can always use the expertise in that particular area to give us an opinion, and by reading or understanding their opinion, we can form an opinion on the financial statements. Okay? So the main thing is the data integrity, whether it is clear, apt, and it has not been manipulated is the first main substance to framing whether whatever that we are trying to form an opinion on is right or not. The next comes is, again, data privacy, like ma'am was telling. Okay? The information is shared across. Okay? And that what happens, like, to just give you a small example, one of the client approached, I think, around 20 days back. So he said he wanted to invest in areca nut, the plates production. So he came and he said, I want you to make a business plan for it. I said, okay, how did you get influenced? Like, is your family into this? Why this idea came up suddenly? Then he said, no, I was watching a couple of videos, and apparently some agri-influencer, he has gone through the videos and he says, no, this is a sustainable business, so I want to do this. I said, okay. Then I started culling out information. So have you done your bit of research? Where will you get the plant and machinery from? So what is the cost around it? Then what about your production? Are you going to run in 1 shift, 2 shift? And how many workers are you going to employ? And I said, how much are you ready to invest for this? So he said, I'm ready to invest maximum 5 lakhs. I said, okay, in your 5 lakhs, I think majority will go to the plant and machinery itself, and then you have to have working capital, and you need to have a person hired there to help you with all this. You have to bring in raw material. What about all this? Then he said, that and all will manage. I will only be the worker. I will do this, that. I said, see, because we are exposed to so much information around us, without even using your normal thing as a common sense, we are not able to make decision. Okay? So you cannot rely on every information that you see. You need to validate it, work for yourself, put a little thought into it, and then you proceed with your decision, which makes sense. So then I told him, see, I have other people who are into this business. You please go talk to them. You try to get an understanding. Then you come back. After that also, if you're convinced if you want to do this business, I will help you to draw out a plan how to do this. So information is there, but you are getting misinformed by going through that information. Okay? So what is relevant to you? What needs to be taken? Again, all that you need to put in your clear, make an informed decision rather than just running into taking decisions. Okay? Then apart from that, even like ma'am was also mentioning, like all the data, all your information is already present. So recently also, I think when I was trying to book a cab, simple thing as that, so I had one of my assistant also coming with me. So I was trying continuously to book a cab. The fare, every time the system itself crashed. The next moment it shows the fare up by 50 rupees. I was like, why is this happening? Okay, next again after 10 minutes, I'm still trying. That guy cancelled. Again, jump by 50 rupees. And then I said, Baba, this is not happening. You try to book from here. Something is wrong with my phone, I think. Okay. So he, I think, had a normal Android phone and he booked. Here where the cab fare is showing 450 rupees, for him it is showing 350. I'm like, how can the same point end-to-end destination have different fees? So then later when he and me, we were having a conversation, we understand it depends on which phone you're using. Okay. So similarly, it's so much information collection, how do we keep a tab? See, for lawyers, for doctors, for CAs, we have an ethical code of conduct. In the sense, we are not supposed to advertise, the client has to come to us organically, the XYZ, so many rules and regulations. What about for AI? There are no rules. However you collect the data, you're using it by will and wish, however you want to. So there, as CAs, so when we are working with our clients, we have to, now I told you we are not traditional accountants. We have to help them in decision making. So what we do is we try to ask them and try to get information. How are you arriving at this? By what thought process? And the data that you have taken, is it true in all respects? So only by doing all this, we are able to give them some value addition. Otherwise, going by only books and numbers, if you just take ledger, one journal book and tallying a balance sheet, if we sit with only that traditional mindset, we will also become outdated. So even with anything that you do, please ask a question, why is it happening this way? What is the source for it? And what will be the repercussion of it? What is the future? How is this going to impact? So if we're able to answer these questions rightly and we have a good answer which is legally right, ethically right, then I think we may proceed. That questioning should come from our mindset. If that questioning is not there, then it's going to take a big toss. Yes, ma'am.
One last question. This is nowhere connected to your topic or theme. My question goes to Shubha ma'am. What was the most funniest case you have come across in your cyber security career?
So many to talk about it. Anyways.
And sorry, we have last 10 minutes to complete.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. There are so many cases. In fact, when we talk about funny, I feel that it's because of the less awareness what the client has or the victim has about the crime where they have been fished around for whatever it has been committed for them.
I think they have the control.
Thanks for that. Actually, I was working for fraud early warning. Every bank has a division called fraud early warning. I was working for Citibank as a fraud early warning where we monitor each and every transaction to understand how the customer is using the card, and whenever there is any kind of crime we notice, we usually call the customer and say that this is what I'm noticing. As Citibank belongs to maximum to the US, I was working for the Citibank US team. As working as a head for fraud early warning, that means, let me give you an example. Say for example, I am using my card in Bangalore and there is a transaction in Belgaum in next
5 minutes. That means one of the card is the fraudulent card. That's how we decide. Because if I travel by flight also, I can't go ahead and use the same card in Belgaum and Bangalore within a difference of 10 minutes. So we used to do this calculation for US, because as you all know, there are so many states in US. So we used to have everything, the data used to be with us, so we used to calculate all these things. So it was a couple card. That means the add-on card added with a couple, there was a transaction happened, and I saw that there was a transaction in Virginia and there was another transaction in Boston within less than 10 minutes, which is highly impossible. Virginia and Boston is far away where you can't travel in 10 minutes. And my junior, she came running and she said like, ma'am, I see that there is a transaction. Do you think that I need to go ahead and block it, because you have to give me the permission? I said, okay, we will block the card, but which one should be blocked? Whether it is the first one which happened, the transaction in Virginia or in Boston. So I said, just hold on, let us talk to the customer first, understand what is the problem with them. Because we have add-on card also added. Husband has a card and there is an add-on card given to the wife. And we had the first number which was reflecting on the wife's number. That is an add-on, but the first number reflecting is wife's number. I said, guys, go ahead and give a call. She gave a call, she came running back to me. She said like, ma'am, you're supposed to pick up this and handle this ahead. I said like, what happened? No ma'am, she's shouting on me. I am not able to understand the reason. And the problem was we had the Indian workers who are talking to the US with a pseudonym. And she was very new, as 3 months old. I said, okay, fine, don't worry, I'll handle the call. I picked up the call, she was Ginny. Her name, I'll never forget her name. It was Ginny early in the morning, that is Indian time, 3 o'clock. She just started talking to me. And she said like, see, this is what has happened. One of your agent has called me saying that the card has to be blocked, blah, 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 blah. I said like, Ginny, can you give me 2 seconds? Not asking 2 minutes, 2 seconds. I said like, okay. She said, okay. Then I said like, see, we see that there is a fraudulent card which is being used in 2 places. One is in Virginia and Boston. Where are you living? She said like, I'm in Boston. Then there is one card which has been used in Virginia. She's like, oh my God. That was her reaction. And it's like, I need your help now very badly. I said like, yeah, I'm here to help you. She said, I don't want you to call my husband. I said, he's our customer. I'm supposed to call you and him and give an input saying that this is what has happened and I need to go ahead and report the card to be blocked. She said like, I can come and meet you personally. I said, that is not allowed for any fraud early warning team. I said like, hang on, can I understand what is the problem? She said like, I'm having a boyfriend. I think he has used the card. And if you go ahead and call my husband, he will come to know. And day after tomorrow, I'm going for divorce. Before that, I want to go ahead and swipe the card and make all the purchases today and tomorrow itself. I was like, oh my God. She has planned everything. Divorce is there day after. And night, she is planning everything. And she's telling, don't call my husband because he will go ahead and block the card. I think that is my boyfriend who is making the swipe over there to make some purchases so that we run out of the card and give him and I divorce him. I said, I know, seriously. I was like, oh my God, what should I say now? I said, Ginny, are you serious? My procedure according to this team is to go ahead and give a call to both the respective members and understand where is the fraudulent card is present and block it. She started bribing me. She said like, Shubha, I'll come to you, I'll give this, I'll give that, blah, 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 blah. She went on and on for 5 minutes. I said, Ginny, do one thing. Hang the call. Okay, talk to your husband. Because I wanted her to hang the call. My process is supposed to call her husband now. That's my process. I can't stop her, as you rightly said. Because he is the owner. He's the guy who has taken the credit card with that high limit and given the add-on card to his wife. But there, whatever the fight they are having, I don't know. Then I said like, please hang the call. Then she said like, okay, fine, I'm going to trust you, Shubha. Don't call my husband. Within tomorrow morning, I'll finish all purchases, blah, 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 blah. And I'll go ahead and announce about my divorce. I just kept quiet. I hung the call. I called her husband. Luckily for the first round, he didn't pick up the call. For the second round, he picked up and he said that he was driving. And I said, with all whatever I spoke with Jenny, I just kept it aside because it's ethics again. I can't talk about she going for a divorce, blah, 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 blah. I said, sir, this is what is happening with your card. I just wanted to understand if it is you who has made the transaction, I'll just keep the card open or else I'll block it. He was surprised. He said, like, can I know the transaction amount? I just gave him the list. Where and all it has been swiped, what and all it has been purchased, how much is the limit. And he was almost running out of the limit. He said, right away, I want both the cards to be blocked, and whatever the transaction has been happened, I want to complain back on that. And luckily, I didn't get a call from Jenny back, and I don't know whether they got divorced or not. But the worst thing was early in the morning, some lady is telling that she wants to flush out the whole card and get divorced, which has been well planned. I was surprised.
Good experiences. So I would like to conclude the whole discussions here. We had a good amount of experiences shared by all the experts with us. I personally and on behalf of the organizing committee thank all the speakers, experts in their own fields to come here and enlighten us on your domains. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
As we come to the conclusion of this enlightening panel discussion, I want to take a moment to express a heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed panelists and a wonderful moderator for sharing their time, expertise, and insights with us today. Dear panelists, your diverse perspective and wealth of knowledge have not only deepened our understanding, but also inspired us to think critically about the topic at hand. A heartfelt thank you to our esteemed moderator, Dr. Maya Salamat, for steering this discussion with such a skill and fineness. Your thoughtful question and seamless facilitation ensured that discussion remained engaging and impact throughout. Thank you for your valuable insights, ma'am. A heartfelt thank you to Mr. Marshall Sebastian for sharing diverse perspective on AI, emerging technology in finance sector and its diverse usage. Thank you, sir. A heartfelt gratitude to Ms. Manasa Jagdish. Thank you for your impactful contribution, especially highlighting the importance of AI in finance and auditing. Dr. Shubhamangala Sunil, your expertise in sustainability and thought-provoking ideas on use of AI, cybersecurity issue while using AI has truly enriched our discussion today. Thank you for your insightful talk. We deeply appreciate Mr. Naresh Revankar for his emphasis on integrating technology with sustainability practices. Thank you for your informative discussion, sir. A heartfelt thank you to all the panelists and moderator for making this session a fruitful one. Thank you, everyone. Dear students, coffee is served outside. You can have the refreshment.